I forgot that I was gonna have to probably retweet that I'm live again.
It is what it is.
Let me be fast. Help me be fast. Wait, fuck, why am I clicking
Clip Studio!
What?
I just saw your folder that said Clip Studio.
Oh.
I just had to scream.
Oh, yeah, because that went on the other screen, the other monitor. Do. I'm so fast at clicking buttons. I'm so good at this. What did I name this? The bad ending. There we go. I'm so speedy. I'm so good at this. Wow, okay. I probably don't need to read. Nah, I'll read. Oh, hold on, my mom's calling me.
Ugh. Rolling around at the speed of sound, I got places to go, God. Rainbow. Welcome back.
Stream. Hi guys, I'm back. It didn't. My button failed me. It only unmuted me on Discord. I cannot believe. Alrighty. So, fellas, I decided to go live again before fixing the stuff, so hold on while I crawl under my desk. Ah! I can't see down here. I should have grabbed my phone. I made a mistake. I don't have lights. I mean, my computer glows, but not enough. Ah, where's my phone? Here's my phone.
Hey chat, how you doing?
I found. Okay. Where the hell do you plug in again? There we go. My monitor's back. Okay. Ow. I love the tile floors of this room. Really just my knees.
I love that tile.
My knees hate me every time I have to crawl under my desk. Anyway, now that that's done, time to open up Aviary Attorney. Waiting for the network.
Network.
I heard that Aviary Attorney is actually coming to the Switch at some point. I mean, it's also on Steam.
That's hilarious to me. That's awesome.
Aviary Attorney is just, like, such a good game. I just, you know, maybe I'm gonna actually finally look into, like, people that make things and just be like, is there anything else you've made? Just anything. Anything at all.
Anything at all.
Because, like, God, that was so good. And, you know, I just think that their starter case was so much better.
Yeah. I mean, it's just... Click R!
Like, you know, there are other Ace Attorney games, and I haven't played all of them, so, you know, maybe some of their starter cases get better. technically. I haven't played the other two Ace Attorney games in like 20 years, so I don't remember their trials like at the top of my head, so. Apparently it's trying to run, but I don't see it popping up. Oh, there we go. There it is. We are here.
Near, far, wherever you
Okay,
are.
we're gonna have to load a previous day. Yeah, so there are two possible endings.
Now we just need to load in where 𝐒𝐄
Yeah, we
is.
need...
Yeah.
The trial.
Severin,
okay.
yeah, there it is.
Okay.
The
Now,
trial of
from my
Severin.
knowledge, there are two other endings, and today we're gonna try to do the bad ending.
Ooh.
There is the good ending, the bad ending, and the even badder ending. And the way I think we get the bad ending is we just have to fuck up at the trial. We have to not be convincing enough. So, let's try to be bad.
Falcon receives a letter.
God, we have to go back to being British. Well, I mean French, fuck.
I gave up on the French accent or anything with Sparris, and I was...
Fair enough. This is the only accent I can do, so... Other than Southern, which I didn't think would be fitting. There they are. I'll ask one more time. What's your name? Actually, we should probably skip through this part. We already read it. Doo-doo-doo.
With the police? Wow, you were a chicken. You were a cock. You were chicken. Cock. Cock. What am I saying? There is like a lot of dialogue.
Some systems have like a thing where you can skip through until you get something new, but... Alright, let's see if we can figure this the fuck out. Okay, we're going
I'm coming
in.
too.
We're going
okay,
in.
fine.
Woo.
I'll go. I'm goodbye.
Oh my god, everyone's so surprised that I'm here.
Wow, who is this dude? I mean, who's the worst person we can
Probably
choose?
Friar.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, we gotta make all the stupid choices, and I'm gonna cry at it because I hate being wrong. Friar Ramus, you're a man of God. Surely you don't approve of this sort of mob violence.
I see no issue. Good book is full of stories of violence.
Someone who has read their book.
Wow. Amazing.
You know what? That made me like him a little bit. Just the tiniest bit.
That's insane. That's so funny to me. That is so funny to me. They really went, yeah, no, he's a bad guy. He bad.
I mean, there's some level of honesty about it, I guess, because there are some people that tap their book that's like, oh yes, stories of violence and murder in some ways, and are like,
oh god,
this thing that technically the book says the opposite about.
My favorite argument is when people go, well, you can't do that, and I'm like, well, you can't mix fabrics together, brother. You wearing jeans and cotton right now? Sin.
Also,
sin.
I'm pretty sure one fact about, like, that it was actually a mistranslation. So everyone that's been being like, oh yes, you cannot relationship because it says so. Well, see here. That was a mistranslation, actually.
It's all, yeah.
It was about, don't do that shit to the youngins.
Yeah, it was all like it's a mistranslation.
It's like, don't touch the children. That's what it was saying.
But it's specifically when it comes to, like, obviously we know, like, the type of evangelicals that will, like, take it. I don't think I've told you this one. I actually argued with a guy and got argued with a guy on my campus once.
Oh.
And it was one of those things where someone would be like, here's a fact that I know about, like, the book. And he'd be like, no! And then he wouldn't elaborate.
No!
Nuh-uh.
Are you gonna elaborate? Nope, you're just wrong. Okay.
I
then.
see no issue. The good, yeah. It's just the only thing with like religious texts is that you have to consider the time period. You have to consider how the language was written
Mhm.
and how everything is going. The as like any religious book, you shouldn't take it literally based off of literal translation.
Mhm.
You have to consider it based off the time period and stuff
It's
like
also
that.
been like thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So
Yeah.
the possibility that something has been like mistranslated or even altered maliciously is kind
My
of high.
favorite thing of something that got not mistranslated, but got it was misspoken.
Mhm.
Blood is thicker than water. You've heard that phrase,
Yeah.
right? It's a very common phrase, often used as parents are like, blood is thicker than water. You have to be a part of your family.
But there's
The
more to it,
actual,
right?
yeah, the whole phrase is, blood is thicker. Thicker. What was it?
Blood is thicker
Blood.
than water, but the
Uh,
water of the womb is something.
Yeah, it's blood. No, it's like blood is thicker than the water of the womb,
Oh
which
yeah.
means that you have no obligation to your familia. It's the blood that you shed with other people, like blood brothers. Which, by the way, fun fact: Loki and Odin were blood brothers in Norse mythology. That was that was more important than being born into a family. So there you go. Literary facts with Daniel, all again because we're playing the bird game.
The bird game.
Joshua ransacked the city of Jericho. You and the Judds were ruthless assassins. Samson killed thousands before meeting his fate.
I already at some point in this series literally just reiterated, I think, Samson's story.
Yeah.
The bare bones of it, because I didn't actually know this part because I was taught went to Sunday school for children, and they didn't tell me anything. Well, sure, but that's the Old Testament.
What would Jesus say about this? Jesus threw a table.
I came in here. I ran in here. Like, no, you mustn't kill 𝐒𝐄 or however you say his name. And then 5 seconds in, and I'm now arguing with like a friar about the Bible.
Jesus is based. Jesus also said turn the other cheek because it was, or take the extra mile, because it was illegal for a Roman soldier to take, if someone were to, like, a Roman soldier legally could get someone to carry their shit for a mile. If they went another mile, that soldier would get in trouble. So Jesus said, go take the extra mile, because then he'll have to fucking run at, like, the Roman soldier will have to come and, like, get you, because you're taking his shit further out than it's, like, legally allowed.
I like to imagine, though, that he can't, like, Roman soldier, like, carry my shit for me. And it's like, yes, sir. And it's just like...
I'll take it further for you, sir.
Yeah, imagine, though, they can't stop you from doing that. Like, imagine...
No, they can't. So there's, like, a Roman soldiers like, man, dude, you need to stop. And he's like, but I'm carrying your stuff. I'll take it further. And it's just like, no,
like,
you
no,
can't.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this!
He will get in trouble with his superior, yeah.
Yeah.
He would say, I did not come to bring peace but a sword. Matthew 10:34.
What? Oh, damn.
Do
Do you see, Falcon? This man's death is inevitable. For the good of France and in the name of justice, he must be killed.
Justice. That word again.
Madam, I won't presume to know who you are or what you stand for, but shooting this man right now would not bring you justice. It would only serve to satisfy your desire for revenge. Justice. Revenge. What's the difference?
What did we say?
We said rationality, but...
What can we do to piss her off?
fairness, because her father's stuff
Wasn't treated fairly, yeah.
Fairness, madam. Justice offers the accused a chance to defend themselves. It ensures that both sides are treated as equals. Fuck, that's actually a decent argument. As we predicted. My father was not treated as an equal. Then maybe this is your opportunity to be the better person. Fuck, that worked.
Madam, surely you aren't entertaining the words of a heathen.
Fine, Falcon. Fuck, that's Falcon's voice. Fine, Falcon. We'll play this your way. We shall have a formal trial for the murder of the 𝐒𝐿𝐄. Excellent. Shall we head back to my office and file the necessary papers? Don't take me for a fool. You'll walk us right into a trap. We shall have the trial right here and now. Right here, in the catacombs. Catacombs. It's as good a place as any. I suppose we might as well skip this part, we already read it.
Yeah, yeah.
I would want
wow.
to keep it, like, semi-intact, but...
Rightio! God. Well,
Trying
looks
to make
wow.
sure we don't
I don't know. I just want him to keep making a grumbling noise whenever his mouth opens. I found a little guy. Hey,
him! The bestest
I'm
boy!
I'm not a little guy.
The little
Well,
guy
shit.
is now by my
fucked
side.
Up, Falcon. I think someone's lurking. Look,
Damn!
pamphlet.
Cannot believe that someone is lurking. We trust you, sir. Damn. Guy got shot in the road.
You got shot in the road.
In the middle of the night. Alright, let's choose the
Well.
worst answers.
Let's keep plain as day. Well, obviously we know
Bam!
Bam. I mean, Bam Rudis Marcets
Uh-huh.
fired. Yeah, just
This-
not plain as day because it was night.
So we can't choose that one.
So any of the other ones I think are fine.
Bam!
We accidentally solved the case by accident.
Shit. You say that the 𝐒𝐿𝐄 drew his gun and fired back the last of his strength.
Yup, bomb. Did the bullet hit Kokoriko?
So you claim that 𝐒𝐿𝐄 fired his gun and then the 𝐒𝐿𝐄 fired back, but it's possible that there was a third gunshot.
I wasn't counting on nothing, but nah, I think I would have heard a third gunshot if that was one.
I see, but what if? Don't try to claim that there was a hidden sniper upon a rooftop or any similar drivel, Falcon. None of us have the patience for that sort of yarn snipping. I feel like we should just be as annoying as physically possible.
Keep being annoying. Keep being annoying. Did the bullet hit Kokoriko?
I feel like this might lead into us accidentally being smart, though.
I don't think it will,
Okay.
because the main issue was trying to find if it was day or night, and then the lanterns
yeah,
were
but
the
also
issue.
later in the case, there was the issue of like, oh, but like, who did the 𝐒𝐿𝐄 hit with his bullet? Was it, and that's the murderer? So my wonder is if it's not Kokoriko, we might go there.
But it could also be a thing where
it could be we're too
draws
far
it out.
ahead, and that's why this is good to ask to fuck us over. Maybe.
Yeah.
Did the bullets hit Kokoriko? No, he was uninjured at the time of capture. Well, he looks pretty injured right now. He took quite a beating, what of it?
Torture is despicable.
Torturing someone for any reason is horrific. I can't believe that none of you had a problem with it. You hypocrite. Do you know what the French legal system does to suspected rebels? Beatings, whipping, sleep deprivation, mutilation. Sometimes the police even break out medieval torture devices. They act like we still live under the ancient regime. Yeah, and now you'll know better. Spare me your infantile judgment. Madame Beaumont scowls. Do you want to stand here and lecture us, or do you want to carry on with this trial? As I thought. Proceed. Do you have another question about the 𝐒𝐿𝐄's gunshot? We've asked all we can. Never mind, I have no more questions about the 𝐒𝐿𝐄's gunshot.
The rooster fired rib.
Right, because we don't want to ask about the location, right? Because that's where we talked about the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Pierre, you say that Monsieur 𝐒𝐿𝐄 fired first.
Yup, the bird's expression was stone cold. Kokoriko is no murderer.
With respect, Pierre, I don't believe you. 7 𝐒𝐿𝐄 is not the type of person to shoot a man in cold blood. It's not in his nature. Because in a court of law, a testimony of character is very, solid grounds of...
100%.
It's so good in murder trials.
I'm emotionally invested, and thus this will win me the trial.
His nature? His nature! I've seen this bird's true nature, Falcon. He pretends to be virtuous, but inside he is a twisted, murderous piece of filth. Do you seriously want to stand there and lecture me about what good a person this man is? No, my mistake.
He's a great man.
𝐒𝐇𝐄 has proved himself to be a great man. He is perhaps the most morally upstanding citizen in the whole... Shut up. Just... shut up. I don't want to hear another word of your damned lies. Madame Beaumont scowls. No more character appeals, Falcon. Either you stick to the facts of this case or I end this stupid trial. Understood?
You have another one about 𝐒𝐄𝐄's getting shot. Was 𝐒𝐄𝐄 a
We're
threat?
getting this man killed. I'm totally not sad. Did it look like 𝐒𝐇𝐄 was feeling threatened prior to the shooting?
Now.
Well, did the 𝐒𝐿𝐄 have his gun drawn?
I don't think so. Croc drew his gun. That was the only after getting shot.
I see what you're trying to argue, Falcon. You think that this may have been a self-defense killing. It is a fruitless line of reasoning. The cockerel approached the crocodile. He is the one responsible for the encounter. Still...
Hey, Falcon, these guys were buddies with 𝐒𝐿𝐄, so you won't be able to convince them that his murder was justified.
I know, but we need 𝐒𝐄𝐄 to die, trust me.
We need to fucking kill him, I understand this. Find the inconsistencies and prove them wrong. I like how Sparrowson is, like, trying to help.
Yeah, Sparrowson's the best.
He's like, let's not try to get this guy killed, please.
Like, Falcon, you're usually yelling about tact! Please use some... You're right. Let's try a different strategy. And I'm going right back to the same one.
Do you have any questions? No. Well, is there any more?
Shit,
No,
yeah,
never
no,
mind.
we don't got any more. Never mind, I have no more questions about 𝐒𝐄𝐄's gunshot. We gotta fuck up one more time.
I
think
mean, I
this-
feel like that one because plain as
'cause
day,
I
good night,
remember
blah, blah,
us doing the plain as day thing. Now, Pierre, you say that this incident took place on Rue des Marmosettes. What were you doing there?
Just pressing through.
Okay, but where were you headed? For example, did you have any business at the congery, or were you heading home from the cathedral?
To be honest, monsieur, I don't think that's none of your business.
𝐒𝐄𝐄 is just like, why the fuck did you show up? Like, at least I could have died with dignity, bro.
Bro, why?
It most certainly is my business. Your reason for being there could be a key factor in this case. Pierre was running an errand for me. What kind of errand? A work errand. What kind of work errand could be done at midnight?
The illicit kind, I'm guessing?
I think you two are overstepping your bounds. Like Pierre said, this matter is none of your business. Madame Beaumont scowls.
He's floundering, madame.
Agreed. I've heard enough of these rambling theories. Falcon, your respect for your comrade is admirable, and you displayed great valiance by leaping headfirst into the lion's den. But you have failed to convince me of this bird's innocence, or anything at all, really.
You really
Madame
actually
Beaumont,
fucked
I
up.
implore you, not another word. We humored you. We set up a court and went through the motions of a trial, and now the rooster's guilt has been formally proven.
We have more evidence.
Enough! The trial is over. Severin 𝐒𝐄𝐄, you have been formally tried by the people of the Second Republic. We have found you guilty on the counts of conspiracy, of the murder of the 𝐒𝐿𝐄, and of the murder of my father, Jean Beaumont. Madam, please!
JJ, it's alright. I've made my peace.
This is far from all right.
Dying in the name of the new republic, at the hands of the rebels. There were worse ways to go. I was good enough for prosperity, right?
Severin!
Uh-oh. He got killed.
Tend to the body, Piero.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you plan to kill us too? Why would I do that? You two have done nothing wrong. I see no reason for you to be tried, let alone executed.
Your mercy is admirable, madam, but I fear that if we let these two go, they will tell the police everything. It would compromise us.
No, we promised to keep our beaks shut. Right, Falcon?
But we cannot trust the word of the potential traitors. Madam, for the good of France, we must execute the birds right now.
Some man of God you are.
I hate to admit it, but you have a point, Ramus. This is an unpleasant situation. What to do. Okay, I know. I'm going to give you a choice. You have two options. The first is that I shoot you right here and now. That's not something either of us particularly want, but if it must be done...
What's the option of number 2?
You join us. We need lawyers to help bring the New Republic into fruition. Your skills would be very much appreciated.
Our skills.
Somebody has to draft new laws. Somebody has to follow the paperwork to secure the New Republic's internationality...
Internationally recognized legal status.
Internationally recognized legal status. Somebody has to prosecute the officials who corrupted this country. Wouldn't that be a glorious job?
You mean prosecute the Prime Minister? Or the King?
We can discuss the specifics later. For now, I need to hear a decision. What will it be? I would rather die.
One ending, I guess.
No. It's not
We'll
the...
join.
The other ending we get by not intervening at all.
Yeah, no,
We just
I
turn
meant
away.
like technically I would rather die and getting shot would
That's
be an
true.
ending, but yeah.
There are 4
We'll-
endings to this.
We'll join you.
Fine. We'll work with you. Good. Then a verbal contract has been made. Things that are upheld all the time.
100%. Yes. So what happens now?
Pierre and Fontaine will lead you to 𝐒𝐿𝐄𝐈𝐀𝐋. I will finish up here and meet you in 2 hours. Needless to say, they shall be keeping a close watch on you. Don't even think about running. Of course. Then we're done here. Fontaine, lead the way. Yes, fuck, I spoke up higher. Fuck. I swear to God, there's like, that air is still trapped in my fucking, I don't know, and it is very annoying, because it keeps rising and then being like, nope, I'm gone, and I'm like, you're affecting my ability to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people can just like burp on command or whatever. If I could do that, that would save me so much fucking trouble right now, because I could force it out.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I can, but it's never fun. I've done it, so I did it once for a recording of, what was it? We were doing, oh god, what was it? We were doing Willy Wonka, and the girl who was playing Charlie couldn't burp on command, so I did a recording of me burping and I nearly threw up.
Oh,
So anyways.
oh. Yes, madam. Come along, you two. This was not his voice, but it's fine. He's
You
shifting in my
can't-
chair for the 20th
You can't
time.
seriously be trusting these filthy lawyers, madame. They're probably plotting revenge for their dead friend at this very moment.
I do trust them. Throughout that trial, I got the impression that Falcon was trying to de-escalate the situation, avoid violence. Such a viewpoint is naive, but it is exactly what we need in this revolution.
But they would certainly betray you.
If they are stupid enough to even raise one feather against me, they will
Gun!
regret it.
You got gun! Do you wish to continue?
You can come out now, brother. You dumbass. How'd it go? Better than we ever hoped. The rooster is dead and Madame has tasted her first blood. Amazing. Completely worth getting shot for. A meddlesome Falcon tried to disrupt the execution.
But he was really shit at his
Well,
job,
really
so...
bad at his job.
Falcon? Really? That Tenya's rich. Don't worry, he floundered and blumbered around hopelessly.
For once, that is not incorrect.
The madam thinks that he's of some use, but he's as good as dead. This is marvelous. Every piece is falling into place. Our dream will be a reality in no time. To reason, brother. To reason.
I don't think this is reasonable.
A fratner night.
It's probably French for something.
Fraternizing.
I hope you don't harbor too much hate for the madame. I know that the rooster was your friend, but the madam does what she does for the good of France. France. Eh.
France.
Oh boy, this is awkward.
It is a bit. Perhaps a round of drinks are in order. After all, this is a tavern. What do you two say?
Drink alcohol.
You know what? After that, I think I need some.
I think I should take some wine.
I'll take a wine. Make sure it's a stiff one.
Bro, wine isn't even that stiff most of the time. Anyways.
I want stiff wine, Sparrowson.
That wasn't even Sparrowson. That was Daniel talking about alcohol.
Well then, Daniel, I want stiff wine, damn it!
I want the wine to be stiff. Normally it's like 25, like I've seen the highest be 20%. Anyways, I'll take 2.
Very well. Biaro, fetch our guests some drinks since you're around.
My round? No way, it's your turn.
Turns don't matter. You still owe me for that omelet I generously paid for last Friday.
Well, yeah, well, you owe me for the coffee on Tuesday.
Okay, so that's 30 cents of coffee deducted from a 60-cent omelet, plus the 25-cent peanuts you swipe from my pantry.
Hold up, I ain't no good mental arithmetic.
Me neither.
Arithmetic.
I'm not good at that shit either. I need pen and paper. Listen, Sparrowson, you need to go.
Go?
Yes, I'll create a distraction. You head straight for the back door.
Is that such a good idea?
If we both stick around, we could both end up dead as soon as we rub that lie in us the wrong way. If we both run, those two would probably shoot us in the backs. So the way I see it, one of us running is the most viable option.
Falcon.
Don't argue. Once you're out, find Voltaire and tell him what you've seen.
Okay.
So it's agreed. You get this round, I'll owe you 2 cents.
Yup, and I'll hold you to them 2 cents. Be right back. Don't you two move or nothing.
You'll hold me to the 2 cents, and that Pierre is such a miser. Anyway, I don't feel like sitting in silence. Let's talk to pass the time.
Hey, look over there! I have a gun question.
He's a gun fanatic. This problem best
Yeah,
in
he
ass.
is. Sparrowson will get away the best if we ask him about the gun.
Exactly. Fontaine, I have a gun question. A gun question? Do you go on?
Iron or lead bullets, muskets or pistols, flintlock or percussion caps. I mean,
I feel like this
I
could
guess
get real technical,
it could.
which can make him talk for a while.
Yeah.
I have no idea, genuinely.
Flintlock is a type of, yeah.
What's better, flintlock or percussion cap? Ignition systems. Yep, it's a technical question. I'm correct. What a delightful technical question, but I'm afraid there's no dispute here. Percussion caps are the future, hands down. You see, flintlocks are unreliable. A little light drizzle and the ignition system no longer functions. The gun becomes worthless. But a percussion cap
Disappear!
will always work as long as it's built correctly, and as long as the gun has enough gunpowder. I suppose there is a matter of material cost. How much does a brass cap cost compared to flint and steel? It's a little pricier, I think.
Alright, but the drinks. One for me, one for you, and one for... Hey, where's the little one go?
The little one? He's right. Oh, mercy, I lost him.
You lost him? How do you lose him? He's been gone for 2 minutes.
I think I dropped the ball on this one.
I'll say, the madam's gonna string us up for sure. Actually, we should make up a cover story. We can't let her find out about this.
He died.
You can't let me find out about what?
I let Sparrowson escape. They let Sparrowson escape.
Do we want to give them mercy?
Do we give them mercy or do we... I don't know. I actually really don't know about this one. I mean, technically, you weren't the one in charge of making sure Sparrowson escaped.
True, but I was the one that literally organized this plan.
You were like, hey, dude, go.
I felt that it wasn't right to keep Sparrowson here against his will, so I created a distraction to let him escape. It's somewhat gutsy of you to outright admit that. By rights, I should shoot you here and now.
But I'm honest.
But I won't. I need a lawyer to bring our plan into fruition. That little bird was dispensable. You are not. Shit, that's me. Madam, if Sparrowson runs to the police, then both this location and the sleeping city are compromised. We should keep this meeting brief. Agreed. Falcon, let me quickly fill you in. As you probably know, we are planning to form a protest, an enormous protest on the 14th of this month. We intend to draw a massive crowd at the Palace de la Concorde, and then we shall march across Tollere's garden. A march across Tollere's? You intend to storm the Levure? No, the Palace Royale. That's where the King and Prime Minister will be residing. I would like it to go peacefully, but peaceful uprisings have a habit of turning violent, don't they? Exactly. And we can't let the leaders of this country escape amidst the chaos. They must be tried for their crimes against the French people. On that note, I want you to lead the prosecution. You want me to prosecute the King of France? The King and the Prime Minister. They're both responsible for the rampant inequality that plagues this country. On the day of the revolution, we will drag both of those overpaid bourgeoisies onto the streets, and you shall prosecute them then and there. I think I understand. Prosecuting the pair for crimes against humanity, I suppose. It could certainly be done. If I were to interview a lot of citizens, gather a lot of evidence, file some paperwork, I could probably prepare a case in around 2 months. We don't have the luxury of time. Use your ingenuity on the day, just like you did in the catacombs. You can't be serious. There is no alternative. The wheels of the revolution are already turning, and the revolution will ignite in under a week. The question on my mind is, what do we do with you until then?
You can't leave him with us, ma'am. You can leave us with us, ma'am. We'll keep a good eye on him. Totally.
After seeing the atrocious job you two did guarding the little bird, I think not. I'll just have to guard you myself, Falcon. You shall spend this week at my side while I complete our preparations. At your side? All day and night? Absolutely. I'm not going to let you out of my sight for 1 minute. That seems excessive. You can trust me, madame. No, I can't. You've promised to help me, but I know that you don't actually believe in the cause of the Second Republic. If I give you 1 grain of freedom, you will undoubtedly flee. This meeting is over. Come along, Falcon. That's always a fun voice to do.
Ah!
Oh, it's an exclamation point!
And then while we were sitting in the tavern, Falcon gave me the opportunity to escape. He created a distraction, and I snuck away. And we went straight to the police. Then you called a meeting, and well, here I am. So, yeah. It's the whole story.
I see. So Severin Kokoro died at the hand of the rebels.
That's right. And Falcon no, not Sparrowson's voice.
And Falcon revealed his true colors as a traitor.
Well, Terry, I so want you to be smart sometimes. Bro.
Traitor? No, that's not right, Inspector. Falcon's not a rebel. He's just playing along so he could save his own life.
Don't be so naive, Sparrowson. Put the puzzle pieces together. Falcon willingly leapt into the lion's den for a specific purpose of siding with the rebels. He let you escape because he could see that you weren't truly sympathetic to the rebel cause.
That doesn't make sense at all. Falcon's never showed a rebellious streak.
Tell me, Sparrowson, what do you know about Falcon's past?
Not a lot. He's a private person.
Has he ever told you what he did during the July Revolution, before he changed his name?
No. He hasn't told me anything, really.
Sparrowson, let me tell you about the man they called the Viridian Killer.
Wow.
Whoa, indeed. Time to
Wow,
go places.
spaghetti-o.
Les Hollows, huh? Let me guess, you have a weapons supplier somewhere around here. Or maybe this is why you plan on meeting an informant, a government defector. It is as good a meeting spot as any. Actually, I'm here for groceries. There's no need for that look. You think that just because I'm a gun-toting rebel, I don't need to buy food? Fuck.
I forgot this voice.
Me too. Well, well, if it isn't Tsunade and little fuck. Gambad?
Gambad.
Gambade.
Gambade. I have no clue.
You're growing
no
bigger
clue.
every time I see you. Mom, you have to hear. Oh, right, she was the one where I nearly went Australian without ever knowing what an Australian accent is. Ma'am, you have to hear this. Something big went down here yesterday.
A policeman. A nasty, ugly policeman.
Let me guess, he was bullying people into revealing secrets on the whereabouts of the revolutionaries. Well, that's how it started, ma'am. Same old bullying tactics. He was pushing around this old beggar rat who hangs around the market sometimes. But then when the rat wasn't speaking up, the policeman drew his gun and shot him. The policeman shot the beggar? Just like that? Yup. But then the coward cop went and ran before we could turn on him. I find this difficult to believe. Policeman wouldn't openly shoot a beggar without just cause. Open your eyes, Falcon. This is the regime us Parisians live under. We are ignored by the government, oppressed by the police, and hanged by the courts. Why do you think I'm fighting so hard to make a change? We can't put up with this sort of bullying. No, this can't be right. Something has to be missing from Sultana's story. I can't say that fucking name for the life of me. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions, madam? Sure, ask away. Make it quick, Falcon. What did the policeman look like? Well, I didn't get a good look, but...
He was tall and angry and mean-looking, and had one eye.
One eye? Yep. He had one of them pirate patches. There's no way. Ring any bells, Falcon? I know a man who fits the description, but it simply couldn't be him. He's a bitter individual, but he's morally righteous. I can't imagine him shooting an innocent person so recklessly. Don't let your bias towards the justice system affect your judgment, Falcon. If you think you know who did this, then please name and shame him. I think I should bite my tongue until I'm a little more certain. Did you want to know anything else, Monsieur? If a policeman did shoot an innocent person, then there would surely be an investigation. Your naivety knows no bounds, Falcon. You think the police care if one of their own is out of control? Actually, there was one bloke asking around, but I don't think he was a policeman. Oh, go on, madame. Madam? Fuck. Well, he was this charming fox. Reynard.
Is Mousy dead? Did Mousy get shot? Is this what they're implying?
A friend of yours, Falcon. Something like that. We should probably pay him a visit to see what he's up to. Pay him a visit. I suppose we can set aside a little time. Did you want something else? Just who was this beggar rat? I didn't really know him that well, monsieur. None of us did. I forgot what Australian accents were. I don't know what this is anymore. He was kind of a loner who hanged around asking for scraps of food and cents. I didn't even know his name. That's so sad. Did he have no family? No means of support? Falcon, do you have any idea how many beggars there are on the streets of Paris? How many people go hungry? How many people are forced to turn to crime? I'm well aware, madame. I'm asking these questions to see if there was perhaps some reason why that particular rat was killed. But no, it appears that this was just the loss of one unnamed beggar rat among many. It's tragic. That it is, monsieur. Is there any other ways that I can help? That's all, madame. Thank you for your help. No problem. Anything to help Madame Beaumont? We'll try to get to the bottom of this. I'm just gonna call her Son. Son! Just make sure to stay safe when the revolution starts. Stay inside. Keep Gunbad safe. Of course, ma'am. You stay safe yourself, you hear? Her voice changed like 3 different times, but that's fine.
It's okay. My cat is begging for pets right now.
Cat wants pets. Well, you're gonna have to be rendered in like 2 seconds.
Okay, cool. Mousy isn't dead.
Wow! Visitors, Monsieur Volps! Visitors! I'm the alarm! Really, Falcon? What do you hope to accomplish in this sleazy back alley establishment?
Easy. Madame, my back alley office is perhaps a little cluttered and eclectic, but I resent the execution of sleaze. Ugh, I got a burp in my throat.
Maybe I should do the introductions. Monsieur Volps, this is Madame Guillemot, a, friend of mine. Madam, this is...
Renard Vopes, private investigator at your service. It's a pleasure to meet you, madam. Oh, how stoic. I'm sure you have some pressing questions to ask, Falcon, but before we get started, there's something I must tell you. Monsieur Spitterson dropped by earlier. He informed me of your situation.
Spatterson, is he alright?
Oh, yes, he's now working with Inspector Volteri, attempting to unravel the rebel plot.
Just as I thought. It appears that your lackey has solidified his position as a traitor to the Second Republic, Falcon.
Perhaps, perhaps not. Spitterson doesn't strike me as a person who sides with any ideology. But, you know, he asked me the most peculiar question. Would you like to know what it was?
Of course.
Such information is quite valuable. It would cost, say, 30 francs.
Yeah, I know how this works. Here's your money, Monsieur.
Very good. So, into the question. Spurson asked if you were the Viridian killer. The one responsible for the random bombings during the July Revolution 18 years ago.
Why on earth would he ask that?
Perhaps the inspector had been telling him stories.
So, what did you tell him?
The truth, of course. That is, that I have no idea who the Viridian killer is. But that I knew that it couldn't possibly be Falcon.
Oh? And how did you know that I'm not the Viridian killer?
Falcon, please. You're a semi-drunk, bumbling oaf, not a ruthless killer.
Ow.
Damn!
My pride?
There goes your pride.
Anyways, I've started my own investigation into the Viridian killer. It's fascinating stuff. Apparently, he was seen in multiple places at once, which leads some to believe that he was actually more than one person.
Totally not me and my grandfather.
Oh, we know it's the 2 wolves.
Well,
It's
yeah.
the wolves.
Huh. Also, wait, by the way, you know when 𝐒𝐄 said that was fine with Robespierre? Or
Yeah.
that's his grandfather. And we know that the grandfather, like, helped in, like, led or maybe participated in the prior revolution.
Yeah.
Which... So did he die to the rebels? But I thought he, like, literally was the prosecution that prosecuted the king, so why the fuck would he die to the rebels? Or maybe that was more so meant in a way of, like, you know, there's worse ways you could go. At least, you know, this is a cause that, you know, someone as great as Robespierre has believed in before or something.
Yeah.
It's a little conflicting, like, meaning-wise.
And do you know why they called him, or should I say them, the Viridian killer?
Viridian is the greenish color, isn't it? No, I don't have a clue. Crimson Killer would be a much cooler name. I am the Crimson Killer.
It appears that no one knows the origin of the name, which leads me to suspect that he or indeed they chose their own
Oh
name.
my god, the green ink!
Yeah, they definitely did.
Bro! This is all fascinating, truly fascinating, but perhaps we can return the conversation to why we're here. Of course. Monsieur Volps, we heard that you were investigating the murder at Les Hollies.
Oh, hold on, my cat. You
The
want-
cat!
There he goes. Okay.
The kitty!
I was the victim of a friend of Mousie's.
More of an acquaintance, really. That wasn't Mousie's voice, fuck. Well, we want to know if you managed to uncover anything. Did you find any leads, any juicy clues?
Not as such. It's quite a peculiar case. Did you hear that the murderer wore an eye patch?
I did.
You know what that implies, don't you, Falcon? You only know of one police officer, or indeed one person, who wears an eye patch.
There's only one man on the police force that wears an eye patch.
It's your fucking Volteri! Where is he on your...
Ah, I went too far.
There he is.
The inspector. But that can't be right. You wouldn't describe him as a murderous man, would you, Monsieur Volps?
Murders? I don't know. He's certainly passionate about finding the Viridian killer. Who's to say that he wouldn't kill in pursuit of his archenemy?
Falcon, I want to solve this mystery as much as you do, but time is pressing and we have other matters to attend to. We must take our leave. Understood. Until next time, Monsieur Volps. If I don't come back...
I'm dead. Goodbye and good luck, Monsieur Falcon. It's a pleasure meeting you, madam.
I haven't even had a chance to mourn Kokoriko.
He's fucking dead.
My...
Monsieur Volps? That lioness looked pretty angry. Is this revolution going to end in blood, Monsieur Volps? Just like in 1830?
Fuck.
We had the same reaction. Like, damn, you okay? It really will. I say we work our way up to the Palace Royale. You know, that's the
Yeah,
place.
that's the big hitter.
I've had 10 alerts of my frames dropping.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Let me
Your
think.
stream looks fine.
So it takes 10 minutes to walk from the Palace de la Concorde to this very spot. And the Palace Royale lies 5 minutes north of here. But the crowd will be fairly large and slow. It may take twice, maybe 3 times as long to make the move. Having a logistics problem, madame? Perhaps. The plan is to walk the crowd from here through Tollerez to the Palace Royale. But if we take too long to pass through Tollerez, the police will trap us in. We could be flanked and slaughtered. That is quite an issue. Why not run?
Running can cause stampeding, so
Yeah.
no.
Why not just get the protesters to meet at the Palace Royale itself? Because the Palace de la Concorde is an ideal meeting location. It's enormous and easy to get to. I see. But even if you got, say, half the protesters to meet at the Palace Royale, you would cut down on traveling time. I get it. A smaller crowd would be easier to direct across the garden. I'll pass the idea along to Piero and see what he has to say. He's the one in charge of leading the crowds, after all. That bird-brained parrot would probably just shoot the idea down, right? Probably. But I appreciate your input. I don't know if you genuinely want to help or if you're just telling me what I want to hear out of fear, but thank you, Falcon. It's no problem, madame. For the Second Republic, right? Right. For the Second Republic.
That feeling when you're following your grandfather's footsteps by being the prosecutor to the king.
Woo! And also working with the woman that shot your totally not gay lover.
Totally not gay bird lover.
Wow! Like, I feel like he must be so conflicted because he probably recognizes that she's at least semi-reasonable and not the problem, but, like, still, she shot
Yeah.
him, and then it's just like,
Yeah.
Falcon's probably just depressive espresso. The Palace Royale. Just look at the disgusting den of fat cat bourgeoisies and hypocritical politicians. We hate cats here, apparently. The king is probably in there as we speak, probably sitting in his high chair, stuffing his bloated face with cake and wine while he boasts about being the perfect citizen king. Did you come here just to moan about the king? No. I come to assess the potential battleground. On the day of the rebellion, I might order Piero to set up a barricade over there. What do you think? There? Right outside the Palace Royale? Of course. It's the perfect place for a defensive garrison. We could gather furniture from nearby buildings, build a wall, and position rifles to fend off the police. When the time is right, it will serve as the ideal location to launch our assault on the palace. So you weren't just throwing empty words in the tavern. you actually do intend on dragging the king out of the palace through violence. Of course. He will never abdicate on his own volition. It's not as if I want to see bloodshed, Falcon. It's necessary. It's inevitable. I mean, we have to be realistic. There is no way to bring change to a country without using violence, is there?
There are ways. I just fucked them up.
I think there are ways. People look back on the violent moments of history, the executions, the wars, the bloody revolutions. But who's to say that a country could not be overturned just through the chance of the people? A pacifist revolution. Interesting. I would love for such a thing to be possible. Maybe. Maybe it would be better to avoid building the barricades. At least until it's clear that violence is inevitable. That's good. That's a good compromise, madam.
A new day.
Do.
Punt this arts.
Punt. Yeet.
Punt.
It's time to make a stand, Anne.
Yippee!
This is it, Falcon. This is the day we make our stand. Everything is coming together. As we speak, Fontaine is gathering the protesters at the Palace 𝐒𝐿 The Hour is making preparations to build an armor barricade near the Palace Royale, just as a precaution, you understand. The only question that remains is, are you ready? No, you're not allowed to take Sparrowson's spot on that. Only he is allowed to ask me if I am ready. No.
Are you ready, Falcon?
To be perfectly honest, no. I'm not ready at all. I'm still, grieving my friend that you shot.
Yeah, he fucking got shot. Dude.
And dealing with a bunch of other things, like the fact that I'm working with you, who shot him, number one, and just everything else, like my past and just whatever. You want me to prosecute the king and prime minister if and when you drag them from the palace, right? Well, I've had no time to prepare. I have no evidence on hand. This whole trial is going to be one big fiasco. You're too fixated on the formalities, Falcon. This revolution will succeed and those in power will see justice. That's all that matters. But madam, come on. Let's see how the protest is going. Falcon and Beamlord arrive at the Palace 𝐒𝐿. The air is thick with the chants and shouts and cheers of hundreds of protesters. A line of mounted soldiers stand shoulder. Damn, really got me there with words. A line of mounted soldiers stand shoulder to shoulder outside the entrance to the Tuileries. This is amazing. I had no idea the Second Republic had this many supporters. But of course, you didn't think that we were just a few animals huddling in a cave, did you? The desire for revolution runs deep in this city.
Hold on. This man.
The man!
Everything's in place in the palace.
I saw both of them and the voices got combined somehow.
Fusion!
Everything's in...
No, but still that friar.
Everything's in place. There you go. Everything's in place. The Palace Royale, ma'am. Just say the word and we'll be setting up the biggest barricade you've ever seen. Then we can all storm the building and drag that cocky king out of his chair.
There's been a change of plan. We're still going to protest, but we're going to do it peacefully. No firing from behind barricades, no violence, no capturing the king or prime minister.
Madame, are you feeling alright?
Quite alright, thank you.
But what is your desire? But what have you desire for the better of France? You cannot achieve without bloodshed.
We can certainly try. Falcon convinced me.
Falcon?
Pacifism seems like the Christian approach, wouldn't you say, Friar?
Fuck.
Wouldn't you say, Friar?
I see, so that's how it is. Excuse me, madam.
I think the Friar disapproves of the new strategy. He probably thinks that I've gone soft, And maybe I have. But I'm not deviating from this path, even if each and every rebel leaves my side.
Don't worry, madam. You aren't alone.
We're not here for the violence, madam. As long as you strive for a better France, we'll always stand with you.
Aw, true friends.
Ayo.
True friends.
They are the true rebel crew.
Ugh, this stupid bullet wound. That damn thing's opened up again. What's the news, brother? Is everything in
I
place?
hope your wound gets infected and you die a
It
painful
will-
and slow death.
100%. The fact that it's opening up means that he is dying of sepsis in like the next week.
Yay!
We have a problem. The mademoiselle refuses to use violence. She's turned timid.
I don't think that's real timid, man. Honestly.
Turned timid? Ow.
Like, she can shoot a man in cold blood. I think that's the farthest thing from timid.
Yeah, I mean, hey, did you know in a different lifetime your brother got shot in front of you?
Like, in the coolest, most epic way possible.
Yeah. Did you know that?
Did you know?
Did you know that you guys, in fact, die?
It appears that the lawyer, Falcon, is something of a lion tamer.
I wouldn't say that. That
This is
feels
my
so
own-
weird for you to say.
Exactly.
Ew, that was the creepiest thing that character could have said in that
I mean,
moment.
listen, he's been manipulating her this whole time, or trying to, so to be fair, that is in line with his stupid-ass beliefs.
No, it is, but it's just
Well, I
him
guess it's
saying it
weirder
out
'cause
loud.
The fact that they are, I guess, animals, that makes the lion tamer thing even stranger.
Yeah, it'd be like it's human tamer, you know?
yeah,
That's what
that's...
that feels. Yeah,
maybe,
no,
you
that feels
know, Go
that feels
die
bad.
in a
I don't like
ditch.
that. Do not like. Anyways, I forgot that I had to read this guy.
Jide Falcon? That bird is proving to be more trouble than the rooster, I swear.
Yes, I am trouble, for I am two birds in one. I am a jay and a
I
falcon.
am a jay and a falcon. I'm 2 jays and a falcon.
Oh, I'm three.
So 3 birds.
Three.
Brother, listen. If there is no violence, then there will be no power gap. One Nato will just
Peacefully replace another. Well, boo-hoo! Wow. Imagine how awful of a scenario that would be.
Damn, bro. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not really here for the rebellion. They're just here to take advantage, probably, of that power gap.
Oh yeah,
Somehow.
no, it's definitely they're looking for. I think some like obviously, they're definitely the people that just want the power gap to keep increasing
Yeah.
and through violence. It's just funny to hear 2 characters being like, "This is the worst outcome."
You right?
We need
Chaos for our plan to work.
Also, with Sparrowson by my side, that's 4 birds.
That's 4 birds. Also, chaos did happen. Just have Falcon and Sparrowson talk for an hour. There you go. That's chaos.
Yeah. Have
Guess
give
what?
Sparrowson another poison chocolate wrapper.
Bro fucking stabbed this one, by the way. Like, straight up stabbed him.
Guess we'll have to follow through with our contingency strategy. I'll find the victim, you find the suspect.
Bro, hold up. What?
Don't push yourself, brother. You're still injured. Look at the scum. Foul vermin, the lot of them.
I'm going way too deep in my throat.
Do not hurt your throat, good sir.
I'm not. It's just it's making that like sensation in the back of your throat where it starts tickling.
Mark my words, Sparrowson. Every one of these petulant dissenters will take the first opportunity to turn aggressive. They lust for violence.
Are you sure you don't?
They don't look too violent to me.
Trust me. This is just how the crowd looked before the July Revolution. It only takes one crazed individual. The entire crowd will explode into a frenzy.
Hey, it's you.
Right, it's good to see you again. No time for pleasantries, Inspector. You need urgently on the Palace de la Concorde.
The friar set 𝐒𝐄 𝐅𝐄𝐈 up.
He did.
Because he told the inspector the information, and the inspector told 𝐒𝐄 the information, and then 𝐒𝐄 appeared right there at the wrong time. No, my baby boy.
Me? Why not talk to one of your officers on active duty? There's no time to explain. Any minute now. Ah, do you hear the gunshots? It's already begun.
Shit.
It's definitely the brother.
Come on, Inspector. We must make haste.
It's 100%.
Inspector, I really don't think you should be trusting this friar. He's a two-faced wolf.
Farrison, say you saw him with the fucking rebels!
Remiss.
I was gonna say, I think he's
His
the
cover might
friar
be
is-
that he's like, you know, I'm an
A double
undercover
spy,
spy.
yeah. a double spy. But Inspector!
This isn't up for discussion, Sparrowson. I have a duty to uphold. Stay put. I'll be back in no time at all.
He's gonna get shot. But... What should I do now?
He's decided something.
I'm going.
A gunshot. It was nearby, too. So the friar was right. Violence really is an inevitability. We haven't reached that stage yet, madame. I can't afford to take that chance, not now. Piero, march the crowd to the Palace Royale and construct the barricade.
Yes, Mom.
Fontaine, Falcon, we're going to find the source of this disturbance.
It's the brother taking shots from a rooftop.
It came from here, Inspector. Hurry, hurry. I'm moving as fast with these old 8 legs will... Mon body.
Trying to see
What?
if I recognize that person.
I don't think we do.
No.
Oh, he must have just randomly, shot,
A
a
person,
bystander.
yeah. Well, I mean, they must have found a victim. With the head covering, she could honestly be a nun. Like someone
Yeah.
from the church.
So that's what he meant by getting a victim.
Yeah. I think the gunshot came from over here. Inspector?
Falcon, well, I should have known that the Viridian killer would have a part in this.
Inspector, I'm not. What do we have here? A filthy cop and a dead girl.
Madam, thank goodness you're here. I saw the whole thing. The poor innocent mademoiselle was approaching the police.
Oh my god!
Was approaching the police line with their hands in the air. When all of a sudden, this brute of an police inspector yelled, "Get back, you filthy rebel!"
I'd be protesting, already.
He drew his gun and shot the bird point blank through her heart. What is this nonsense? What are you prattling on about, Friar?
Thank you for your input, Ramus. It hardly surprises me that a member of the police would be the one to cast the first stone. I think we're all being a little rash. Let's just take a breath, examine the situation, and... Wait a moment. You wear an eye patch. You only have one eye, Inspector.
How observant.
Tell me, were you the policeman who killed the rat at Les Halles too? Why do we call them rats? This feels disrespectful.
I think it is just a literal rat, though.
Well, it was like, another beggar rat. It was like that was a term.
Yeah, but I also, because it was a friend of Mousie's,
You know what? Maybe.
maybe.
2 incidents of a one-eyed policeman gunning down an innocent victim. There is no way that is a coincidence, unless they were both orchestrated by the same person.
Unless they were both orchestrated.
Wow! I think the air finally fucking left. Okay.
Yippee.
Until it returns, we'll see. What we have here is a filthy, corrupt individual who takes pleasure in oppressing the common citizen. Am I right, Inspector?
I really shouldn't be surprised that a stupid rebel makes stupid assumptions and comes to stupid conclusions.
Man, you are making
That's-
your case.
Yeah, that's, that's also kind of rich coming from you.
Yeah, considering you were bad at your job.
Just in every incident, even when you're given capable people to help you. Don't call me Mademoiselle, or stupid for that matter. Your guilt is plain to see. Given the circumstances, I ought to judge and execute you right here now.
Falcon, don't just stand there gawking. Vouch for me.
5 seconds ago, you were calling me the Viridian killer!
I know this man. I feel
Madam,
Aw.
I know this man. His name is Inspector Volteri. He is ruthlessly law-abiding and a fucking idiot. So much so that I can't envision him shooting a man without just cause. Oh, shut up, Falcon. I'm done with your idealism. I listened to you, and I took your words to heart about avoiding violence. And now a girl is dead. Well, I'm done taking chances. Ramus, help me escort this individual to Pierre's barricade. I'll decide his fate there.
With pleasure, madame. Come along, Inspector.
Inspector?
man, this guy like they're layered, man.
Fontaine, Falcon, deal with the corpse. Meet us at the barricade when you're done. There's no way that this was the work of the police. You know what, Falcon? I think you might be right. An isolated gunshot, this far away from the police line. Doesn't make any sense at all. But that's rebellions for you. They're messy affairs. Sometimes innocents get caught in the crossfire, and there's no reason for it. Well, there's no use dawdling. Help me get the corpse off the streets. Not yet. I'm going to examine the body first. Examine the body? We agree that this wasn't the work of Inspector Volteri, right? Then there might be some clues on the corpse that point towards what happened. An impromptu coroner's examination, eh? Fine. You have 2 minutes. After that, we're heading to the barricade whether you're done here or not. Time to be fast. This is the bullet wound, right? What can you tell me about it, Fontaine? Well, it looks like the bullet took a fairly straight angle of entry through the Mademoiselle's back. The shooter was probably standing right behind the victim. He said from the front. Because she was approaching with their hands in the air.
Yeah.
What's the bullet's size? You know its caliber? Let me guess, you're hoping that the caliber of the bullet is different to the caliber of the inspector's gun. That would conveniently get that one-eyed police officer off the hook, wouldn't it? But I'm afraid I can't help you. I can't possibly know a bullet's caliber without having a good look at the bullet itself. And as you can plainly see, the bullet is 3 centimeters deep in the flesh. So you need to see the bullet itself. Help me retrieve the bullet, Fontaine. Retrieve? You mean dig it out? I assume you have a little more experience in this area than I do. Well, you're not wrong there. Fine. This will only take a moment.
You also have the tool.
What was that
Falcon.
fucking sound?
Oh, I didn't get to hear it.
I know,
but I'm guessing
it was
it's the sound of-
strange, but like I couldn't hear it long enough to tell whether I should be disturbed. Here you go, one used bullet. It looks like a standard lead rifle or pistol ball, but I'm afraid I cannot tell you its caliber. Why is that? The bullet fragmented upon impact, monsieur. I gathered all the pieces, but I cannot assess its diameter with any accuracy. Still, I would guess that it was 13 to 17 millimeters. Sorry that I can't be more specific. That's an enormous help. Thank you, monsieur. Fragmented bullet has been added to your evidence folder. What's this mark? It almost looks like a handprint made in blood. Probably the Mademoiselle's. I don't think so. It's the handprint of a left hand on the girl's left shoulder. There's no way a person could comfortably reach that spot on their own back. I suppose so. But if the handprint doesn't belong to the girl, then who does it belong to? The murderer. It has to be. The question on my mind is why? Why is the handprint made in blood? Did the murderer sully their hand on the girl's gunshot wound? Or were they injured prior to the shooting? There's so much to uncover here and no time for thorough investigation. Bloody handprint has been added to your evidence folder. I imagine that right now Falcon is trying to focus really hard on this because I don't think he can stand it if someone else just dies and he's involved.
Yeah.
He just does not have it in him.
Oh, the head and wrist.
It's a long shot, but maybe this girl is faking her injury. Just for the sake of thoroughness, I really ought to check for a pulse. Right. No, nothing. Oh, he was probably really hoping to.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's been so fixated on who did this that nobody stopped to ask who this girl was. I don't know, Munsa. Given her clothes, she's probably just another working girl. Just another. I didn't mean to sound glib, but it's true. This is one mademoiselle among the thousands who live in Paris. Who was she? Where did she work? Will her family miss her? I don't know. But in the long run, I don't think anybody will care. I care. I can't afford not to. I don't know who this mademoiselle was, but I'm going to see to it that justice is brought about for her death. Falcon. Buddy
Aw.
boy. He has to care. He has to. Because I feel like otherwise he's just gonna go numb.
Yeah.
I'm done here. Very good. Let's move this body off the streets then. We must hurry to the Palace Royale. Rest in peace, mademoiselle. I'll see to it that justice is done.
Everything's going as planned. God, I was such a snap cut of how moods just like changed. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, wow, I'm really sad, and then this guy, wow, everything's going.
Wow, my day's going great!
The madam's probably fuming right now. She'll attack the palace royal, the prime minister will flee, and then...
Oh, but wait.
Excuse me, monsieur.
What do you want? I'm busy.
Don't you recognize me, monsieur? I know that my disguises are a little bit more complex than yours, but I assume you would recognize Prince Juan when you saw him.
You're Prince Tuan?
Indeed, and you're Judge Romulus, that corrupt wolf. I know what you did. You tried to assassinate the king. You shot Clark, monsieur. And just moments ago, I saw you murder a maiden, the Place de la Concorde.
Renard knows all your secrets.
I know all your secrets. You truly are a vile individual, aren't you?
Yeah. As if you have any proof or any of that stuff. I'm out of here.
I want Renard, just shoot him, please.
I also know that you're one half of the Viridian killer.
How does he find this shit out?
It's for a price.
For a price?
Any other day would gut you where you stand, Fox. But as it happens, I'm a little busy.
So, the Viridian killer is too busy to kill me?
I thought that was in your job description.
I thought that was in your job description. Is that the truth, or is that bullet wound of yours starting to affect your prowess? You must have lost an awful lot of blood.
Did you idiots not even look into basic first aid?
Nope, because this is the 1800s. What do I do? What do I do?
Sparrison, you have excellent timing!
Oh, hello, Monsieur Volps. Ah, Monsieur Sparrison, perfect timing. Help me kill this guy.
Who are you now? Oh, you're that fledgling. I guess this is what they call being stuck between a rock and a hard place, huh?
Into the river, the Seine. Oops,
That
sorry.
guy? He's the Viridian killer? He looks more like Judge Romulus to me. Dumbass.
Well, you would be right about that one, too.
Oh, so he's two scumbags in one. Alright then.
Mind the wound.
I'm so sorry, but the way, in the catacombs, right, Sparrison held the other guys down, and here he just walks up, and I know that he's injured, right? I know that the other guy's injured, but if he is one half of the Viridian killer, I like to think that he is at least semi-skilled, but Sparrison just goes up and he's down.
Sparrison is just ready.
Sparrison is the most chaotic motherfucker I have ever seen.
He's like, alright then.
He seems a little unassuming. He seems a little just, tame, but he has the power to just surprise you.
It's like, I'm skilled in many ways. Quit your whining, Your Honor. Very nice takedown, Monsieur Sparrison.
He's taking notes.
You may want to check his pockets for weapons. He is something of a notorious killer after all. Of course, let's see what we got here. Aha, here we go. Pistol, probably the one he used to kill the maiden, I suspect. What else can you find, Monsieur Sparrison? This, an eye patch? Weird. Why would a wolf want an eye patch? Oh no, this is bad. Very bad indeed. I don't get it. What's wrong with an eye patch? There's no time to explain. Merci.
Oh, there he
Oh,
is.
I didn't see him.
I didn't either.
What is it, Monsieur Volps? What is it?
Take this eye patch to JJ Falcon. If my fears are correct, he'll be somewhere around the Palace Royal right now. Tell him that this belongs to Ramus's brother. Hurry now.
Right away, Monsieur Volps, right away! I hope they don't step on me!
I must go too. I need to find the other half of the Viridian killer pair before something terrible happens. Wait, Monsieur Vops, what am I supposed to do with this guy? You have his gun, don't you? March that wolf to the nearest police station and collect your reward for capturing Judge Romulus.
And get the fuck out of France.
What a strange day.
Yeah. What a strange fucking day. Outside the Palace Royal, the rebels have constructed a makeshift barricade out of furniture, branches, rocks, and anything else they can find. Behind the wall, the rebels taunt the police and royal guards with chants. I'm growing impatient, pig. Confess your crimes.
I have nothing to confess, you filthy rebel.
Once again, I feel like using animal-based insults is a little strange.
Yeah, considering that they exist here.
You and all your rebel friends, however, should confess to 1,000 counts of treason and public disorder. I will see to every one of you hung, and for your flagrant discard of the law.
You know what? I no longer want to be associated with him. Your stubborn attitude is disgusting. A few days ago, you were seen at Les Halles. Witnesses saw you murder a beggar in cold blood. Today, a friar has testified to seeing you murder a girl. Again, completely unprovoked. I don't know why you continue to plead your innocence. But it doesn't matter. I don't need a confession to know that you're a killer. Madame Beaumont, stop! The inspector didn't shoot the mademoiselle. Keep your beak closed, Falcon. I'm done listening to your suggestions. This policeman is as guilty as every other monster in our decrepit justice system. It's my duty to execute him. Madam, Falcon has uncovered some pretty convincing evidence. I would recommend that you hear him out. Please, just give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes and I can convince you of this inspector's innocence. 5 minutes is precious in a time like this. I can't afford it. What if you're wrong? Are you willing to see another dead innocent? Thank you, madame.
Having my life saved by the Viridian killer, how humiliating.
God
Bro,
fucking damn
fucking
it! Would
chill.
you shut
Never
up?
mind. Never mind, shoot him.
Never mind. Kill him. Quiet, pig. Your life is mine until I say otherwise. Okay, so first of all, let's recap on what Friar Ramus had to say. Wait, where is that friar? He's a key witness to this crime.
He scampered off as soon as he dropped the inspector off. Said he had some business to attend to.
Business.
Oh man. Oh man. Those barricades sure look pretty scary. I mustn't fear. I am a brave duck.
He's a duck.
I am a great officer Beck, handsome, intelligent, strong, truly a fearless hero who will be remembered for...
Hello, officer.
Ah, you scared me, monsieur. Monk? Friar, actually. Friar Ramus.
Why is it two different? Anyway.
Friend. Listen, officer. I have something of great importance to tell you. I was just passing by the rebel camp and I overheard a conversation. Oh? That sounds good. Do go on. They said they were going to launch an assault very soon. And when they do, they're going to rain hellfire on this palace. Oh no! That's just what I feared. What'll we do?
Oh, I love him.
It's simple, officer. As soon as you hear the first gunshot, you need to retaliate. Shoot them with everything you got. Every cannon, every rifle, every piece of artillery.
You really are the scum of the fucking earth.
Don't leave a single piece of the barricade remaining. This is the only way we can be sure to survive. Yeah, total annihilation. I like it.
Oh my god.
As a duck. But Friar, I'm confused. Aren't you a Christian?
Huh.
Guess what? I don't know. It's just like your IG doesn't seem very Christian-y. Duh. I see. You think this is a moral issue.
Let me tell you a secret, my dearest duck friend. There is no God, no overarching morality of a higher plan, no heaven to save the righteous or hell to punish the sinners. There is only you, your artillery, and 10,000 rebels who want to dine on Peking duck tonight. Understand?
I really don't want to question how the food in this world works.
That's an awful lot to take in.
Maybe there's like, you know, the sentient ones and the not.
I have no clue.
Quote unquote sentient. Because all animals, you know.
There
live
are
to some
animals and
degree.
furries. This is just a furry
Yeah.
world.
And let me simplify. It's you or them. It's me or them.
Forget about the fire, Falcon. We all remember what he had to say. Present your case based on what you can recall. Okay, I will. But you may want to wipe that mouse off your shoulder first. Sorry, wipe what? Oh, it's you, Mousy.
Monsieur Falcon! Monsieur Falcon! Special delivery from Reynolds Volps!
Thank you, Mousy. What is it?
An eye patch! It was found in Remus's brother's clothing!
Remus's brothers. This is an eye patch that belongs to Judge Romulus. That's interesting. Where is Romulus?
There's no time, Monsieur! Just take it!
Eye patch has been added to your evidence folder.
I have to run, Monsieur, but you have to do your best! Monsieur Volps and Sparrowson believe in you!
Sparrowson! You've seen Sparrowson. How is he?
There's no time, Monsieur! Good luck!
Are you quite done, Falcon? Very much so. Let's begin this trial.
Cross-examination.
Okay, so let's remember what the fire said.
Approaching the police line with her hands in the air. She was not at the police line.
The chest is the front of the body.
In the chest. Oh, I didn't even read throughout it. Yeah.
Fire Ramus claimed that the girl was shot point blank in the chest.
She was shot in the back.
The girl was clearly shot in the back. I know, I remember seeing the bullet wound for myself. That's quite a glaring inaccuracy in the wolf's testimony. It is an inaccuracy, but it is an irrelevant inaccuracy. Girl! Does it really matter if the girl was shot in the front or the back? Either way, a girl died at this pig's hands. It does matter. If the girl was shot from the front, then this might indicate a police confrontation turned ugly. But if she was shot in the back, then what? This could indicate that someone targeted and assassinated her before she could even react. That doesn't paint the inspector in a particularly flattering light, Falcon. Madam, you're missing the point. A shot to the back breaks the currently established narrative. The girl was targeted and murdered in a stealthily professional attack. Therefore, this was not an ordinary police confrontation. You've made an assumption, Falcon. You've assumed that just because the girl was shot in the back, she must have been stealthily killed. There are other possibilities. Perhaps the girl was scared by the police, started running away, and was shot in the back as she fled. That scenario isn't possible. If the girl were running away, then she would have been at least a couple of steps away from the killer at the time of the shooting, right? Right. But I know that the killer was standing right behind the victim. They were less than some distance because I clicked too fast. They were standing that close. How could you possibly know that, Falcon? Did you not see the handprint?
The handprint.
We saw a bloodied handprint on the girl's shoulder. What do you make of that, madame? Well, I assume any bloody stain would belong to the victim. A mark made with the girl's dying breath, perhaps. No, it was the print of a left hand on the girl's left shoulder, near her upper back. The angle and positioning of the print indicate that it could only have been caused by another person. That is why I'm so certain that the killer was right behind the girl at the time of the attack. I see. That's quite a theory. But Falcon, you've left an important question unanswered. Why was the handprint bloody? The print was made with the victim's blood, yes? So it can't possibly have been made prior to the shooting. The killer must have wiped his hand on the girl's clothing after she had already died. And if that's the case, then my suggested scenario is still possible. The girl may have been running from the police when she was shot. No, I'm still trying to work out the details. But I know that the handprint was made prior to the shooting. The shooter was injured and his hand was already covered in blood. You talked big about breaking the established narrative, and now you present me with that baseless drivel. Well, where do we go from here? How does this handprint nonsense really affect the situation?
You're gonna get shot, man.
Do you find something funny about this situation, Inspector?
I do. This trial is patently absurd. It's an animal court through and through.
Strange.
But there was something particularly funny about the last exchange. You were both so focused on when and how the handprint was made that you missed a larger issue. I don't have a left hand, you idiots! I couldn't have possibly left that mark.
How do we know it's a left? Oh wait, right, because your thumb's on a certain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was a dumbass there for 5 seconds. Oh, right, of course. Well, madam, what do you say to that? Maybe the handprint came from an accomplice, or maybe it had nothing to do with the incident, or... It feels good to see someone else speculating wildly for a change. Okay, fine. I don't have a solid explanation. I must concede that it's possible, maybe even likely, that the person who left that mark was the murderer. Therefore, as much as it pains me to say it, I must concede that the inspector probably did not shoot the girl. So that's it. The inspector is off the hook. No. Pardon me. There's still the matter of the incident at Les Hollies.
What incident is this? I know nothing about it.
As if you don't know. A beggar rat was shot and killed in Les Hollies a few days ago. The attacker was described as a scowling police officer who wore an eye patch. Sound familiar to you? Go on, Falcon. Explain the pig out of this one. Until 5 minutes ago, I was at a loss. But I was recently presented with a piece of evidence that makes the answer all too clear. This was a false flag operation. False flag? Explain yourself, Falcon.
The eye patch.
Madam, what do you know about Remus's twin brother, the man known as Romulus? Not much. Only that he was forced to flee the country by our oppressive government around a month ago. That's a half-truth, madam. You see, it is correct that Romulus is being hunted by the police, but I've had the suspicion that the wolf was lurking in Paris itself, although I never managed to find definitive proof of this. Anyway, it turns out that my suspicion was well-founded. He was recently apprehended, I think. You think? I don't know the details, but it doesn't matter. What's important is that a reliable friend found this on Romulus's person just moments ago. An eye patch? Romulus has perfect vision. Why would he need something like this? There's only one plausible explanation. It is part of a disguise, something to conceal his identity and make him appear as someone else. A disguise? You're saying that Romulus shot the beggar rat just to frame this police inspector? Exactly, madame. It is no coincidence that Friar Remus happened to find the very same inspector just as another murder occurred today. So, Remus was in on it too. Two wolves working together to make this policeman look like a murderer. But why? Why would they do that? To rile you up, madame. To make you lust for violence. And if your actions today are anything to go by, I would say that they succeeded. Damn, I've been so stupid. How did I let myself get so misled by a couple of wolves? This trial is over. Go, Inspector. You're free.
About time. You're letting him walk, ma'am?
Of course. It would be criminal to confine an innocent man any longer than necessary, even if the man is a bitter, stubborn pig.
Falcon.
Yes?
I don't understand you. You're stupid, you're reckless, but you fought Beacon Talon for my freedom. I'm starting to suspect you really aren't the Viridian killer at all.
Jeez, I wonder what, It certainly took a long time to pass that fact through your thick skull. Inspector, if you're still hunting that villain, maybe you should speak with Renard Volps when this is all over, I mean. I hear he's been doing some research into the Viridian killer. Maybe he knows something.
Maybe I will. Madam, it appears that your gang of Rebel Fifth don't intend on insulting the palace anytime soon. I'll relay the information to the artillerymen. maybe we can keep a peaceful standoff going until this blows over.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All of you, stay out of trouble. So, what happens now, ma'am?
We're going to continue our protest, peacefully. We're going to stand here chanting and shouting until the Prime Minister and the King both step down out of sheer humiliation. It might take days, weeks, but if we manage to change this country without one more person being harmed, then... Well, look who returned.
Madam, I just saw the inspector strolling out of here unharmed. Why'd you let him go?
That's simple, Remus. We all had a discussion. And we came to the conclusion that I had been misled by a couple of wolves.
Oh?
How many lies have you fed me, Friar? Just how much damage have you done to further your own goals? Did you help your brother kill the beggar rat in Les Halles? Did you watch the girl die by the Palace de la Concorde? Now that I think about it, even the Croque-Monsieur's death was surrounded by details that made little sense. I don't know what to think anymore.
You know this guy's a scumbag at least, ma'am. I'd say shoot him.
Pierre's right. We won't judge you for killing this man, madam.
It's the least I deserve for my sins. Go ahead, madam. What are you waiting for? Pull the trigger. Do it!
Falcon, you have proven yourself as having clear judgment. What do you say?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, this is really bad, Swan. This is really bad. I don't think I could make a decision like this. Oh, God.
She...
Let him live or shoot him? Oh, this
She's
is
lost
so
trust in
bad.
herself.
She did.
She probably is thinking that she could have easily been wrong about 𝐒𝐄 which means she shot that man. You know, an innocent. And then there she was, you know, going on about that girl. And she was so ready to shoot the inspector. And this is the third time she has pointed her gun at someone with the intent to potentially kill. And now she cannot trust her own judgment, so she's asking us. We can't do that to her. As much as he sucks, as much as he probably, you know, everyone would be better for it in the sense that he wouldn't be around to harm anyone anymore. I don't think she'd be okay if she did that.
No, and the thing is that what I'm thinking, if she shoots, that duck is going to shoot.
True.
Let him live, I guess, and if he decides to turn.
Madam, you know what the right thing to do is. Show us what kind of leader you wish to be. You're right. I said that this will be a bloodless revolution, and I can't make any exceptions. Not even for a monster like this wolf.
Well, this is amazing. Completely unprecedented. You've buckled all of my expectations, avoided every temptation, and opted for an option that shouldn't even exist. Well done, madam. Well done, Falcon. You've demonstrated the power of pacifism in its purest form. But unfortunately for both of you, I'm not a pacifist.
Everyone get down! Suicide.
Shooting himself in the head?
The
With a
gunshot!
loony-
Oh, the gunshot.
Hardly a surprise that the wolf would be too cowardly to face a real punishment. This isn't right. It's not the solution I wanted either, Falcon, but I can't say I'll mourn the friar's death. No, that's not what I meant. I meant that it doesn't make sense for him to kill himself so abruptly. And that comment of his, it was almost like... I think we need to get out of here. All of us, right now! Falcon, what are you talking about?
There was a gunshot really close to... I can't afford to hesitate. It's me or them.
Officer, hold your fire!
No way. I can't afford to take chances. It's me or them.
Shit.
It's me or them. For every cannon.
Oh wait, shit. Fuck, I clicked! No! Okay, we good.
It's okay. Yeah, we're fine.
And once again, Falcon witnesses a July revolution.
Yep. Well, fuck.
Can anyone hear me? Piero? Fontaine? Hello? Anyone? I'm here, madam. Falcon? Of all the people, I think I made a mistake, Falcon. Where did I go wrong? Was it when I lost my temper over seeing that dead girl? Or was it earlier when I shot that prosecutor? Or was it earlier still when I first listened to that monstrous fire in the first place? I've made a lot of mistakes. We've all made mistakes, madam. Most people's mistakes don't spark bloody revolutions. Can you move, madam? I don't think so. Give me a minute. I think I can clear some of this rubble.
A new day.
Question mark,
Question
question
mark.
mark, question mark!
Dear Monsieur Velps, I'm writing to you from the DM1 Railway Express. Modern technology is truly amazing. I've decided to take your advice and gone on vacation until things settle down. The king fleeing to Britain, the Second Republic taking over, it's all crazy stuff. Anyways, before I left, you asked if I knew what happened to Falcon. Well, I got my hands on a copy of the official police report, and it says Falcon died during the attack on the barricade.
No!
But it also says that the police didn't find a body. Same as Le Not on Beaumont. Weird, huh? Rumor has it he's probably blown away by cannon fire, but it doesn't sound right to me. The Falcon I knew was tough and intuitive. I think he found a way to escape and survive. So in my opinion, he's still out there. It's possible, isn't it? Anyways, I should wrap this letter up because I'm about to reach my stop, Vienna. I'll let you know how Mademoiselle 𝐒𝐂𝐈 and her parents are doing. Maybe you should come by and pay a visit sometime? Send my regards to Mousy. Sincerely, yours sincerely, Sparrowson.
He has faith that his friend's alive.
Yeah, and I mean,
Oh, it's still Sparrowson.
P.S. I see a person stealing milk. What is that? What is it? Is this just P.P.S. delicious? That's what.
Oh, Sparrowson! Okay, I think we're at the credits, so we're gonna skip.
Yeah, we're at the credits. Yep.
Fast forward. That was cool.
That was really cool. And I think, obviously, the ending with him talking to Beaumont
Mhm.
definitely cements the fact that, yeah, they are alive. Because if he was dead, how could he, like, or he was close to death, he couldn't move.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to move.
Do we want to try to do the final one? Because we do get into it quicker because of the early choice we get to make.
We can try, but can I take a potty break first?
Yeah, we can have a 5-minute break. Rest our voices.
Please.
I need to refill my water
Please.
anyway.
I need to get water, yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
We're gonna take a break real quick, chat. But we will be back to do the final ending. So, I'm back.
I am also back.
Nice. Man, I'm on my 3rd cup of water today. I'm so hydrated. It's actually...
Wow.
I should be drinking way more than that, but
Yeah.
my body's crying. Anyway. This, I'm so excited to show you, because I looked at a thing or two, and... Okay.
Yep. Let's go.
Pretty sure we get into it... That's not it. Oh yeah, it's way shorter looking too. So, well, by 2 days.
By 2 days. I would love to see the screen.
Oh. Whoops. I forgot to share that at all.
It's okay.
There we go.
That's why I'm like silence. And not
Sorry.
even like trying to make a little joke or anything. Falcon, we should say something! Falcon, come on, let's say something! Falcon, maybe we should say something, Falcon. I think it'd be... 𝐒𝐄 gonna die if you don't say something. It gives you so many options.
It doesn't matter. None of this matters.
What?
Do you have any last words?
Just pull the...
Just pull the trigger and be done with it.
In his final moments, he thought no one came for him.
Yeah.
God.
And nobody came.
Fuck. There's nothing more to see here. Let's go.
Fuck!
Maybe I lean into my mic a little more. I don't know if I'm being too quiet.
You're fine. I like to think that he just went fuck, and not even Falcon. Falcon, stop! What the hell are you doing? Where are you going?
Look around you, Sparrowson. Fat cat bourgeoisies are getting away with murder. Wolves have infested the courts and churches. Severin Cocorico, perhaps the most righteous person in all of France, is lying dead at the hands of an unruly mob. Justice is dead, Sparrowson.
It doesn't have to be like that. You could have done something to save Severin.
You want to be a heroic lawyer so badly? Fine, go be a hero. You don't need my help. The key to the aviary attorney office. Take it.
What? What are you... No, stop with the melodrama, Falcon. If we hurry, we'll be able to tell Inspector Voltairy and what we saw, and he'll be able to arrest the rebels before they escape.
So do it. You don't need me to hold your hand. And when you see the inspector, make sure to tell him this. The Viridian killer has returned.
The Viridian killer? I don't understand. Falcon, where are you going? Falcon!
Life is meaningless to Falcon now.
My, to think that Papa would buy this place just for little old me. I must throw a party to celebrate. I don't remember her voice quite.
I don't either, so you're fine.
Let's see, I'll need some lights, some decorations, and some world-class cuisine. Bloody rare steak, perhaps. But what to do about music? Oh, I should ask my papa if he knows any pop stars. Some cool like Monsieur Liszt. You
I think I-
disgust me.
I was gonna say.
Who said that? It was you, Dame Cataline. It was you who showed me the ugly face of injustice. It was you who taught me that our court system is corrupt to the core. It was you who made me realize that if a man desires justice, he must bring it about with his own 2 hands.
What's with that mask? Monsieur Falcon, is that you?
Falcon is dead. He perished in the graves that lie under our very feet. You can call me the Viridian Killer.
The Viridian...
think that was an explosion.
Yeah,
That didn't just
man.
that didn't just sound like a gunshot, let me tell you. Hey buddy, I think your friends got off the deep end.
What am I supposed to do now? Falcon? Oh, it's you, Inspector.
Monsieur Spitterson, I must congratulate you. Thanks to your quick actions on Wednesday, we were able to find and apprehend the rebel leader while she still lurked in her den.
I was just doing my duty, Inspector.
Don't be so modest. This man wouldn't have delved into the catacombs so brazenly. You're a hero.
But Kakariko died. And I can't help but feel like I could have done something to save him.
Kokoriko died an honorable and righteous man. His sacrifice wasn't for nothing.
That's okay. The only complaint I think I have about this game is that Volteri is genuinely stupid.
Yeah, I
Like-
mean,
You know, at first it makes it seem like he genuinely has like nothing to work with, like, you know, his people are kind of holding him back. But he's really just dumb.
he is dumb.
He has not once come up with a correct conclusion.
And let's, what a great, what was it called? What a great, like, response to, you know, like, national headlines recently. um,
Like, this response wouldn't irk me so much if he was competent. Then I could
Yeah,
be like,
he
okay,
is not.
he can say that. But
How
he's
can a
genuinely not
policeman-
competent.
it is stupid that someone with this level of power is in this position when he knows nothing of what to do.
Also, he sent... It's kind of insane, actually, if you think about it. Why were public fucking prosecutors pulled into this? Okay, apparently it was established that it is normal for them, you know, to help the police in times of need. But they sent prosecutors and defense attorneys into such dangerous situations that they are clearly not equipped for, and he just did that. No backup, no training, just sent them. Oh yeah, we'll give the man a gun. Does he know how to fucking use it? Does he have any training? No!
Obviously, I had 6 months of the police academy and I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, like that shit.
Like, yeah, if you just hand a man a gun, he knows how to use it. No! Like, literally, even if that informant, you know, even if Ramus wasn't setting that all up, even if it was a genuine tip-off, he still sent that man into a horrendously dangerous situation.
He could have got him killed either way.
Exactly.
It does not matter. He basically sent a citizen into like an issue that this motherfucker has said multiple times that he is more than able to like deal with. He's been through revolutions before.
Like, honestly,
He's been through other like violent crimes before, and he decided, let's send Kokoriko, the skinny fucking
he doesn't have a left hand, so he
prosecutor.
obviously lost that during the war. You know,
Yeah.
he uses a cane, so he's clearly probably, like, further disabled in some way from his war injuries. He has an eye patch, which probably ends up meaning that he's actually also sight impaired. So he's clearly suffered from dangerous incidents, and he's just like, we'll send a regular citizen.
Yeah.
But, like, a way I could have maybe tolerated this kind of portrayal is if it was done in a way of, in his younger years, he was incredibly competent. He was known for being a genius. But due to his trauma and injuries, he has become increasingly paranoid and comes up with far more outlandish theories. But most of the time, the police, you know, just themselves, they cover it up and keep him on because
Yeah.
they don't want the bad publicity, and his name still means something.
I will say, in the terms of writing, this is really well done with his character of how proving how not being able to like be knowledgeable of certain
Yeah, I guess
things
that
or
does
be
make
ignorant
sense, true. Because he is
causes
at least,
such like turmoil.
yeah, and he is at the very least, he does have characteristics. He's not just bland stupid. He is
Yeah.
incredibly stubborn, and he is bullheaded with his conclusions. So at the very least, he thinks he's right all the time.
Yeah, which is his downfall, and thus the downfall of literally this entire plot. Literally, I mean, him calling Falcon the Viridian Killer, because at this point, Falcon does know that like Kokoriko was looking into his shit,
Mhm.
and he's like under the assumption that Volteri thinks he's the Viridian killer,
Mhm.
which is ridiculous
Mhm.
to say the least.
And
But
Falcon knows that
because-
he's not, and we know that he's not, like, out of game. Or,
But yeah, sorry.
no, continue.
But the fact of the matter is, because Falcon had seen so much injustice and now he's completely gone off the handle, he doesn't care that Volteri sees him as the Viridian killer because that's what he's going to be anyways.
Mhm.
It
He's
doesn't
pretty much,
matter.
You know, it will take a killer to right these wrongs.
Falcon is at the point in his life where it doesn't matter really means it does not matter,
Mhm.
which is so fucked up.
Like, God. You know, just with this path, it really makes me kind of want, in my own little headcanon, I do like to think that for this one, Kokoriko and him were exes
Yeah.
in some way, so that kind of like his death kind of really did just destroy him extra. Because he was kind of getting back on a more amicable grounds with his ex, you know, kind of, you know, feeling maybe at least a little bit more competent. He'd done something at least with the last trial. You know, his buddy old Sparrison's maybe thinking, maybe there's some hope for this man yet. Woo! And then it comes crashing down as he realizes that once again, he truly has done nothing that matters. Not in the long run.
Yeah.
The shadow of his grandfather hanging over him, things he can't escape. He wanted to do the peaceful route. There are several options you can take where Falcon can, like, intimidate or something.
Mhm.
And so, to me, that tells me that Falcon can so easily fall into violence, but he doesn't want to. Which makes me personally, headcanon again, think that Falcon had to have maybe even slightly participated in the July Revolution. Or maybe he, at the very least, you know, when his grandfather participated in some way, maybe he was pretty young then, but I like to think that he somewhat was in that environment for a short period of time and participated and then really did not like it.
Mhm.
In the sense of he did not like what he became, I suppose. So he shoved that down, has tried so hard to not do that, to not follow in his grandfather's footsteps, to be this better person, only to pretty much have the world spit on him and tell him it's impossible. The world you want can never come to be unless you do it this way. Be the monster. And it's like, God, no. I am a little
Still.
emotional now.
Still.
Harrison, if you're looking to redeem Kokoriko's death in a fitting manner, I have the perfect gift for you. Here, take it.
What's this? It looks like a license to practice law. Does this mean?
Correct. In light of extreme circumstances, the king has granted you the power of interim prosecutor.
The king granted this shit?
Legal license has been added.
to your evidence. But we were so in sync there for a second. Damn. That was kind of cool.
Wow, I'm officially qualified lawyer. As a prosecutor, no less.
This is just temporary, you understand. But if you prove yourself, who knows? Maybe I can pull some strings to make it permanent.
This is amazing, but wait, why have you given me this?
I'm glad you ask. We need a prosecutor to lead the case against Lenore Brimont, the ringleader of the rebel group.
Bearmont? That scary-looking lioness?
Correct.
I would be honored to take the job, but why aren't you asking one of the other prosecutors, like, I don't know, Rupert Ravington?
No.
No.
Ravington? I wouldn't touch a klutz to make my tea, let alone handle a case as important as this.
You know, there's only 3 people that practice law in this area. You know, there was Ravington, Aviary attorney.
One is
Falcon's
dead,
gone.
Falcon is a murderer.
Yeah, Falcon's gone AWOL, and you know, we know what happened to Kokoriko.
Kokoriko got shot.
So you're all we got left.
Man, this is not looking up for Sparrison's been given basically a death sentence with that license.
Yeah.
Sparrison, you clearly have nerves and brains. I'm confident that you're ready to take this on.
You know, Sparrowson, I feel, is so unique in this scenario because with his personality, you know, it was even mentioned last time, he isn't really one to take sides per se. He is such a, you know, jack of all trades, he kind of can go with anything. He, of course, has his own base morals and limits,
You could
right?
say he's a Dan of all trades. I'm so sorry. I had to make the joke. It was
No,
right
he do
there.
he do
It
be
was
a Dan of all
Dan.
trades.
He was a Dan of all trades.
But one of many of the trades that Dan does.
One of them, including chairs, law now, maybe?
But just, you know, he's not a dependent, not really, but he does really shine when he's supporting someone else, but this is him not being able to do that. This is him kind of having to step forward himself, which he's probably not fully afraid to do, but I imagine uncomfortable, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'll do it. So, what do I do?
Yeah, there's that kind of like, I can do this, but wait.
What happens?
Well, your job as prosecutor is to interview Beaumont. We've already bet all that information we can get out of her.
Oh, already beat. Oh my god,
We've already beat all the information we get out of her, but you must read Beaumont her charges and see if you can uncover any new facts.
Right, got it. And, what charges would those be?
And another fact of Sparrowson's character, he does not react to the fact that he was just told that they beat her.
To be fair, this man has not only stabbed a guy to retrieve a bullet from his wound, he's also
True.
pinned down a dude and done violence on multiple occasions. I think he's very,
his
like,
limit is
neutral.
his limit is probably more attached to his care for a person, and also more so if it goes way too, like, you gotta try to push it, and maybe he'll kind of be like, hey, maybe not.
Let's not do that. Oh my god.
First, the murder of Severin Kokoriko.
Of course.
Second, conspiracy to incite a rebellion.
Makes sense.
Third, the murder of Dame Catalan de Mel.
Right. Wait, what?
Can't believe Falcon is off the hook for now.
Oh, you didn't hear the news? On Friday evening, there was an enormous explosion at 𝐒𝐄𝐄 𝐅𝐄𝐋. Only one person was inside at the time, Dame Catalan de Mel, and she was killed instantly.
What was she doing there? I thought Baron Rogel owned that household.
And after Baron's death, his properties were auctioned off. The Damehouse were the ones who purchased the chateau. You suspect that Dame Catalan was touring the hall for the first time when she met her fate.
This is surreal. But wait, you arrested Lena Beaumont straight after I met you, right? That was on Wednesday afternoon. How could she possibly be guilty of committing a crime on Friday evening if she was in custody at the time?
Simple. She has a large gang. She didn't plant the explosives herself. But we can be sure that she gave the order.
Okay, but wouldn't that be more an accomplice type thing?
That would be an
Kind
accomplice
of.
type thing, yeah.
Because, like, even though typically, I'm not quite sure how the law dictates it, but I do think being the one to put the shit there kind of weighs more, a little, maybe? Unless they were
Yeah.
threatened. You can use, I think, what is it called? Being under duress as a defense, kind of.
Yeah. I don't understand the motive. Did Lenomi, I keep trying to say her name differently each time. Lenomi Beaumont hate Dame Cataline?
Oh, by the way, fun fact, if you ever go to, like, agree to commit a crime and you, like, hop in a car and are, like, even just a getaway driver, right? Any crimes that group that you are a part of commits in addition to, say, robbery or something, like, if they murder someone while doing it, at least where I am, okay, don't this is not legal advice, by the way, just fun facts that I kind of semi-picked up in my classes. Again, this is not fucking legal advice. I'm just saying a fun fact, quote unquote, as I do quotation marks. You are on the hook for those crimes. It doesn't matter that you didn't agree. Yeah, anyway.
Man.
Again, that is not legal advice. I've said it like 4 to 5 times. You know. You know.
So
Anyway.
don't go with your friend if they're gonna rob something.
I mean, just don't
That
commit
is
crimes in general.
That's
and
official Sparrowson, advice.
don't go robbing. Don't be a
Come on.
robin.
Don't be a Robin.
Come on, Sparrowson. You've been granted prosecutor powers. You must start thinking like a prosecutor.
Right. Okay, Bearmont ordered to have Dame 𝐒𝐄 killed because
She hates the bourgeoisie, she wants revenge, she wanted a reaction. Well, we know one thing, she hates the bourgeoisie.
True.
it was an attack on the bourgeoisie. A rebel like Bearmont would no doubt have deep hatred for the higher classes of society. Even in jail, she wants them dead.
Damn, this kind of just shows this person kind of maybe suited for this role a bit.
That's a good theory. You seem to have a solid grasp of the rebel's mindset, at least. Anyway, you may also want to see the crime scene for yourself.
Chateau Chenenaire?
Yes, it's just a giant mound the rebel now, but as a prosecutor, you ought to see it with your own eyes.
Right. Got it.
The trial's in 3 days' time. Bearmont's fate is all but guaranteed, so just turn up to the courthouse and you'll be fine. Now, if you excuse me,
Wait a minute, Inspector, about Falcon.
you told me he turned Caroline and fled. What of it?
Never mind.
I'm sorry your friend ran away, Sparrowson. But try to focus on the case. That's what matters.
He's not telling.
Yeah. You're right. I'm going to be the best prosecutor Paris has ever seen.
I feel like a part of me kind of like, or a part of Sparrowson is hoping that if he can do this, he can maybe give Falcon back that hope. And he's probably
Yeah.
hoping to make enough of a difference in time before Falcon does something he can't take back. Unfortunately, it's a little
He's
too
got-
late, and he probably might be connecting a few dots in his head even. Because who has potentially a grudge? Why not the man that literally has had probably several nightmares over that fact and had in his one fever dream after falling into the Sienna had a conversation with him? You know, like... Poor Sparrowson. He may
Oh.
be technically, quote-unquote, handling it better, but he really must be struggling.
Yeah. Well, there's only one place, I guess. We should go see, but Smoldering Ruins, infamous.
Do we want to go to the location first, or do we want to go to the...
Oh, we could talk to Bearmont first.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that first, to see if she knows anything.
Hello there.
Another police officer. You look a little short for an interrogation specialist.
Oh, no. I'm not an officer. My name's Sparrowson.
There's apparently height requirements for these things.
Yep. I'm a prosecutor, see? Totally different.
What does that slip say? Interim prosecutor? I knew I wouldn't be getting out of here alive, but they didn't have to insult me by putting some junior lawyer on the case.
Hey, I'm no junior. I'm the real deal.
Nice try. I saw the issue date on that slip. You're as fresh-faced as they come.
Yeah, well, fresh-faced or not, I'm the one in charge of prosecuting you. So first things first, you're Lenore Vermont. Are you not?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, great. I'm in the right jail cell. That's a good start.
I'm sorry, I love him. I'm in the right jail cell. Great.
Yeah. Now, mademoiselle, I have to read your...
Don't call me mademoiselle. Do I look like a child to you?
Well, children don't normally lead rebellions, I guess.
Well, I guess mademoiselle then is more so for children? Or maybe unmarried people?
Most likely. I don't know.
Huh. If I am right on the unmarried thing, I wonder if she, like, was married, though.
Maybe.
And maybe that's why she's, like, especially doesn't want to be called that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, madame,
I love that he would be the type...
Oh, hold on. Sorry. It's probably because of her upbringing with, like, when her father died, she was probably still just a child.
Yeah, it was because she was called Mademoiselle multiple times. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Sparrowson is literally the type of guy that if you correct your pronouns, he'll be like, okay, and then continues.
We fucking
Because look,
adore Sparrowson.
he goes, anyway, madam. He literally just changes it immediately.
You know, those wolves weren't. Like that one wolf that kept doing it, that bitch.
Yeah.
He
Anyway,
would-
madam. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, sorry, I just, deserved.
Yeah.
I'm not, no violence. I'm not,
This-
I'm not one to genuinely encourage violence unless it is in self-defense.
This man literally went, hey, okay, you corrected me. Anyways, madam, that's exactly how you should react when someone gives you the correct pronouns.
Exactly.
I have to read you your charges. Let's see, where to start? The murder.
Let's
mean-
just go down the fucking list.
Might as well, yeah. You're being charged with the murder of Severin 𝐒𝐄 𝐅𝐄𝐋. And I know you're guilty of that because I saw it with my own eyes.
Really? You saw that bird's death?
Yep, I was lingering in the shadows. I heard your speech, I saw you put a pistol to his head and pull the trigger. I watched your expression. You didn't show a hint of remorse.
You really were there. I had no idea we were being watched. I gave you too little credit. I thought you were a law school dork, but now I find out that you're some sort of spy.
I am like a spy, aren't I?
And he's just like, ah, that's cool.
The name's Sparrowson, licensed to practice law and an immediate future for the immediate future.
Sparrows.
The name's Sparrowson, licensed to practice law for the immediate future.
Oh my god, he's really Skyline Swan for real. I'm kidding.
Swan.
Swan. My mistake. You're still a dork.
Oh, well, at least I'm not a murderer.
Touché. This schoolyard banter is idiotic. Read me my next charge.
Inciting a rebellion. You're being charged with conspiring to incite a rebellion.
I suppose I would be a fool to deny that. But you know, I never wanted violence. I thought maybe if I could do things right, this could be a peaceful revolution.
I would find that easier to believe, madam, if hundreds of weapons weren't found in your catacombs hideout.
Blame the wolf and crocodile who pushed me into buying them.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Not really. I take full responsibility for my own actions. Read me the next charge. That's kind of honorable. She
Yeah.
may be like, I really was pushed into doing it, but I still did it, so.
Yeah. Murder of Charlene de Meow. You're being charged with the murder of Dame Charlene de Meow.
Who?
She's a bourgeoisie kitten. Small, sickly, sweet, flutters her eyelashes, but pulls out your heart when you least expect it.
I'd say stabs you in the back when you least expect it. I have no idea who this person is.
Well, there was an explosion at 𝐒𝐿𝐿 on Friday evening, and Inspector Voluntary is confident that you were behind it.
Last Friday, when I was sitting in this jail cell.
Yep, that Friday.
I have no idea why the police feel like I have no idea why the police feel like tacking some random unrelated charge onto my list of crimes, but it makes no difference. Even without that charge, I'm guaranteed to face the guillotine blade, right?
Right. Or the news if the judge is sick of guillotines that day.
God, they could at least make it quick.
But madame, I want to do my job right, and part of that involves not prosecuting you for crimes you didn't commit. If there's any way you can prove that you weren't involved in that explosion at 𝐒𝐿𝐿, please tell me now.
No. Let them charge me. Maybe I'll be taking the fall for some poor sod who doesn't deserve to be punished.
That's not how justice works, madam.
You know nothing of justice. Go on. What's my next charge?
Actually, it looks like that's everything. Well, madam, I shall see you in court shortly. I'll try to get to the bottom of the 𝐒𝐿𝐿 business. My god, every time I read that, it's wrong. But in any case, I advise you make peace with this world.
Wait. It was Saracen, wasn't it? Let me ask you something before you go. Do you resent me for killing your friend?
I don't resent you. 𝐒𝐿𝐿 wasn't a friend. I do resent you.
How do you want to send her off from this world?
I don't resent you. I think that's the right choice. Because 𝐒𝐄 wasn't technically, but he was an acquaintance. So to be like, I didn't care. No, I don't resent you, madam. I heard your story in the catacombs. I don't think what you did was right, but it was understandable.
That's the other thing about Sparrowson. That's why he's so, I guess, middle of the road. He can
Yeah.
just understand, I guess.
Of course, I'm still going to see it to the justice is served for 𝐒𝐿's death. But I promise that I'm not going to let personal prejudice cloud my judgment.
Maybe I was wrong before, when I said you know nothing of justice. You seem like a good prosecutor.
Thank you. I can only aspire to one day be as good as Severin 𝐒𝐿 was.
He's following in Severin's footsteps. God,
I'm being a little sweet in it right now, and you can't handle it. I'm looking at you, swan sorceress. I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Fuck! I'm being emotional. You know, despite that, I have a feeling she's still not gonna forgive herself.
No, she's not.
She's
Because
not the
that
type
means
of
that
person.
that might have been an innocent man.
Mm-hmm. She is the type of person who accepts, you know, what her actions and what she did. So she will accept her guilt wholeheartedly. She's probably carrying a lot of burdens, to be honest, because if she is that type of person, she has in some ways the strength to keep moving, but it is killing her inside, and it is probably obvious to a good few close people.
What a good animal to symbolize that, too. Because she's a lioness.
Mm-hmm.
I like how the characters are deliberate in terms of their design. Falcon is a very headstrong type of like symbolism. You think of a falcon, you're like, wow, that's a big bird,
And he is
that's
an
like
interesting person to pair
pred,
with the
yeah,
accusation
it's a
of being the
predator
Meridian
and stuff
killer.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember you talking about how he was a predator and how we were when we were like kind of talking about it,
Mm-hmm.
just how he could have been like something because we didn't quite know before we went to the last chapter where everything went good. And then Sparrowson, obviously he's a sparrow, he's very unassuming.
Mm-hmm.
But a common sparrow is a very like homey kind of like type of bird, I would say. And then 𝐒𝐿, roosters,
He's
very
very
full of
proud, seemingly
themselves.
arrogant.
Yeah.
And that's clear by his past, and even with the airs he still puts on, but he has grown from that still. But it is very accurate.
And the very interesting part is Vulpes being sneaky and conniving, but not having any sort of bounds to where he is. But the wolves do have more of a negative connotation when it comes to symbolism. Because you feed them to the wolves. It's
Yeah.
never like as valiant as a
And
wolf
the
or
rebels
anything.
are the sheep to the slaughter.
To the sheep to the slaughter, yeah. There you go.
Fuck.
We've connected. We've connected the dot. Look at you, writers. I'm talking to you, writers. What the fuck? This is so good.
If only y'all made the Ace Attorney series. I'm sorry. I'm sure there are really good Ace Attorney games, and I do like it as a franchise. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying that this has captured my heart in so many ways.
I'm looking at you, writers. If you ever need someone to join you and voice a little scrunkly guy named Sparrowson in your next game, call me up.
If you
I'm
ever
going
need
to do
someone
it.
that's just, I don't know, dramatic. Hi. God, this is so good. Oh.
This is such a good game. And it's funny because just, wow, it's birds and lawyers.
I literally was gonna play this as a joke because my dad, you know, he gets games from like these. He has subscriptions to stuff, so he gets some keys to free random games. Well, they're technically not free, but you get it. And sometimes, every now and then, like every few years, me and my siblings will gather around like his desk and we'll like choose. And I tend to choose a lot more adventure and/or story games. And I saw Aviary Attorney. I thought of myself and Dan because we're Swan and Dan's a pigeon, and I was like, this is probably going to be a bit of a joke, but I gotta play this. And this has turned out to be one of the best gamed experiences
really
of my
has.
life.
It's literally one of my favorite games. The only reasons why I wanted to stop playing it is because pacing, make sure to pay, because I'm the type of person that will binge watch an entire show in one sitting. I wanted to generally have a
Savor
good time
this,
with you
yeah.
and savor it, but also because of the fact that I just thought it would also be like really ridiculous and funny, but then it became like a really like kind of heartfelt story.
It's charming and heartfelt, and there's so much you can take from this that is just good. And you know, maybe for once in my life I will write a fan fiction that I finish that isn't old as all hell.
Now I see why the intent for the final, we were just able to get through the game pretty like easily.
We didn't have
So-
to use any cheats, any guides. We just genuinely made the intelligent choices. And we got the good ending. And it kind of, in some ways, the build-up felt lackluster. But that's because
So,
the
yeah,
story
the-
isn't meant to be a happy ending, probably. It can be
Yeah.
if you want it to be, and probably a lot of people hope for it to be because we love these
So-
sparkly little guys, but...
Yeah, I can see the writers definitely like making it so like obviously you would play back and you'd want to win,
Mhm.
and then the relief you would feel. This makes this okay. So there's this dating sim, which Swan actually I might ask you to play with me
Oh?
because it was a really good dating sim. I sadly played it with someone that I'm no longer friends with,
Mhm.
but the choices you made generally made you feel like you had to go back and retry again. There was one character, his name was like XYX or something.
Mhm.
He was such a genuine, like, interesting character to get to know. But you could easily ruin your chances with him because you could have made the wrong decision, the wrong like what to say next, how to be sympathetic towards the situation. And I, honest to God, it's been so long because I think this was literally like nearly 2 years ago. It's been so long, I do not remember.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's
The
the point where
choices.
you're ready to stream a game. You haven't played it in so long that you forget.
I remember his character. I remember his personality. I remember like the ending. I don't remember
How you get
genuinely
there.
how to get there. So, and there's like four. Well, no, there's four guys, and I think I played through all four of them. But honestly, I don't remember it as much as I would like. So maybe sometime we should play that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
100%. I'd be down.
yeah.
I don't remember if you read this line or not.
I don't know either. I started ranting about a completely
Yeah, no,
different
we
game.
just started going. We do this.
This is Chateau Chenier. Wow, it's completely destroyed.
How much fucking gunpowder did Falcon manage to obtain?
Enough.
I feel like that just is more into the thing, you know, his past. Like, he had to have been a part of something that he then decided was, like, bad, because
I mean,
how else would he know how to do this shit?
yeah, obviously, because his grandfather was the prosecutor of the king at the time.
So he had to have been a part of that rebellion.
The
He
rebel
had
group.
to.
He literally grew up with the rebel group.
Falcon.
Falcon has seen some shit.
He has tried so hard to believe in good. His mindset is honestly probably like very just pessimistic from the start, and he has fought tooth and fucking nail to try to be positive. And Sparrowson probably really, really helped with that, to be honest, which is why this was probably one of Falcon's worst decisions, separating himself from Sparrowson. Because now
Yeah.
Sparrowson can't pick him up.
Here's the thing. Sparrowson is this is the type of character I adore. It's the in hindsight character. I'm sorry. I really hope I didn't cut you off, by the
No,
way.
you didn't. You didn't. Please
Okay.
go on.
But he's the in hindsight character. There are characters I believe that are very important to the story, which are the ones that can teach you, but also by not knowing, but just because they have a good heart or just in general, because they're so adaptable, I guess. I think, especially in literature, we've so focused on the fact that we need a headstrong character to make the choices, to make the difficult decisions. But there's this little guy, which is often like the side character, not really side, but has been like over time been diluted to side character. That there isn't like a type. Writers don't quite write that sort of deep connection that Sparrowson has created. Because on his own, Sparrowson is a great character. He's just he enhances Falcon's life, and they enhance each other, which is a very good like character
Dynamic,
trait. I think.
exactly.
Yeah,
God.
I think this is where the foyer was.
Yeah.
Anyways, before I continue on another rant, because
Before
this
we,
is literally what
maybe
my
we psychoanalyze after.
maybe we psychoanalyze after, and also I should probably be writing this for my Tumblr because this is exactly the stuff that I wanted to write for my Tumblr.
Dude, hold on, I might have to actually participate in Tumblr then so I can read this. I'm interested in these type of rants.
Yeah, I only do it because Tumblr is a better platform for writing. But anyways, so the main hall must have been a big pile of charred rubble over there. Must have been one heck of an explosion. How many gunpowder kegs were used?
One slight thing, because I might forget. It's very interesting that Sparrison essentially helped guide Falcon's moral compass in some ways, like help keep him on that straight and narrow, maybe even without kind of realizing it. And he is so, in some ways, morally gray. Like, he clearly has a feeling of right and wrong, but he's also just kind of willing to go with it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Aha! A lawyer!
Rabino recognizes.
Rabino!
Rabino? It's been a hot second.
Rabino, don't sneak up on me like that.
You finally used his fucking name!
Wait, shouldn't you be doing community service at the Louvier? Nope, I've done my time. Now I'm free to follow my passion. Your passion of scaring people? No, bird brain, my passion of wartime photography. See, when I heard the massive explosion last week, I knew that I could get some juicy action shots. I was one of the first on the scene.
How is it an action shot if it's already happened?
Juicy action shots? Haven't you heard? Photographs of violence, death, and mayhem are all... Sorry, my stomach, like, growled. I didn't realize how hungry I was.
Oh god.
Mayhem
you have to take
all
a break
make...
and go grab, like, a snack?
You know what? I might actually have to do that, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, go on. I'll entertain my chat. You
Okay.
got this.
I'll be right back. It'll be a little bit.
Yee. So chat, now let me talk about the fact that I am heavily considering writing a fan fiction for this. On the side, of course, as I have much Skyline to write. However, like, my concept, okay, because I will indulge this a little bit, see. I'm thinking of trying to combine all three of these endings in some way. Now, how, you may ask, considering they lead to greatly different events? Well, that's obvious. Have you ever heard of a time loop? Or one of those they use? I myself have read one or two, and honestly, when done right, I think it could be very interesting. Now, the question is how I'm going to make it work, because there either could be heavy conditions, or it could kind of just be a phenomenon that has, like, all it wants is to see, like, I don't know, a good and a desirable ending, I guess, play out in some way. How that would be happening, as in how would time be resetting itself, I haven't decided that yet, okay? I don't really know. This game doesn't really give any, like, high-powered figures in any way. Like, there is clearly no god, no what that is canonical in this game. So I don't exactly have a figure from the game to pull from, so I'd have to figure out some way. Might just be tomfoolery, as in, Lord knows how this happened. We don't. It just happened. But, because my thought is, you know, what if Falcon goes through each of these kind of, like, versions? Like, he, you know, he lives his life. He goes through the trial of Cataline, you know, she's proven innocent. Baron Rugral is on his conscience still. He goes through the other two trials. And, you know, of course, well, the other trial, and then we get to the turning point, which is 𝐒𝐄 𝐂𝐒 is the one that makes these splits, really. It's when he decides to help him or not, or fails to save him, type of deal. And honestly, my thinking is that the first timeline I guess he lives through is honestly the bad ending. We're playing the really bad ending right now, so it was the one just before. He played through that one first. He got that kind of ending. 𝐒𝐒's dead. You know, he probably then died in that rubble, actually, because something would need to trigger the reset. Yeah, maybe the world just wants an ideal outcome. Or the person writing. aka me. But I obviously need to have them suffer a bit for it first. So Falcon maybe dies in that rubble, and then time resets. But he doesn't have to go necessarily through each and every step again, or maybe he does. I haven't decided where I kind of want to start the third loop, because that's where the story would kind of start after a very brief kind of prologue of, like, establishing what kind of has occurred, sort of, a little. And then I'm thinking this very bad ending happens. And because we haven't, you know, fully seen it all, and I just, like, looked at a thing or two to kind of know what it was generally about, so I know a thing or two, but I haven't, like, seen it, you know? I'm thinking that one's second. And however that turns out, that throws him back into, which obviously he's taking on the persona of the Viridian Killer, so it's not good this time. Then that throws him into the third time, which is where I'd start the story. And honestly, I'm not, it would kind of, it would be focused on Falcon carrying this guilt, kind of, I guess, of like, he's done these things and now he's certain that he's reliving this. So he's probably thinking to himself things like, I have to, you know, I'm gonna go to this trial again. Dame Caterline's gonna like, because I like to think the second time around he tried to actually like sabotage Dame Caterline. Like he tried to do something. He tried to play it by the rules, you know? He was like, I don't know how I'm here again, but okay. And maybe he just thought that it was all one really, really bad dream, and then it was a worse dream. So it was real, clearly. Or he's going insane. But it didn't work. Unfortunately, he still kind of got her off of the conviction kind of thing.
Wow.
Hello, I'm talking about the AU fanfiction I may write, and I'm almost done. So,
You're good.
I forgot what
I
was-
have white tortilla flours, flour tortillas with peanut butter in it.
Ayo, tortilla and peanut butter.
Mhm.
But then that third time around, of course, he would be dealing with the guilt, kind of just, you know, he's thinking he's gonna see Kokoriko die again, and there's nothing he can do about it, you know. So what's the point? So I honestly kind of like to think that his sulking and other stuff intensifies, and that's kind of, you know, Sparrowson's like, what the fuck, dude? And it eventually kind of gets to, I don't know, I might throw in a character that actually also kind of knows the resets, because that would kind of be interesting. But yeah, I don't know fully how I would let it, or have it end, but Kokoriko would be alive this time. But anyway, yeah, just loose thoughts.
Oh, haven't you heard? Classy. Don't judge me. People will pay big money for this stuff. Art galleries,
Oh,
newspapers, lawyers. Lawyers.
Lawyers.
I definitely read that wrong.
No, I do think it said lawyers.
Oh no, it did say lawyers. I'm looking at your stream and it said fucking lawyers. Anyways. Speaking of which, where's your partner of yours? The big guy? We broke up.
That was
We don't work
devastating.
together anymore. Really? That's unfortunate. I managed to get this great photograph of the event. I figured if he was attached to this case, he might be interested in it. The Falcon. Hey, I'm working on this case. Show me. You are? Really? Alright then.
I don't know why I keep checking the money.
This is your great photograph? It's blurry. I can't make anything out.
It looks like this man has a top hat.
It does look like he has a top hat. Well, yeah, I need at least 30-second exposure for a good photo. It's not my fault that stupid people move around and ruin it.
The smoke's kind of decent.
Yeah. What good is a blurry picture to me?
Well, I mean, at least it helps you maybe narrow a suspect, because if they don't fit that body type,
Mm-hmm.
like if they're way ass taller or something.
I can touch it up if you want. Draw over the blur, add some details. No, no doctoring. Bad Rubino.
Bad Robino, bad Robino.
Bad Rubino. Jeez, you lawyers are a confusing bunch. Look, this is only a photograph of the event. Do you want it or not? I'll take it. Fine, fine, I'll take it off your hands. Whoa, I didn't say you could have it for free. 20 francs. 20 francs for that garbage? 20 francs for this work of art that I could sell to a collector for 10,000 francs. You're robbing me blind at 20.
You know, honestly, Rubino's kind of like been involved in a lot of these incidents in kind of like important ways.
Yeah.
Like, slightly. Like, we'd be up a, you know, creek without a paddle without him a little bit. Well, Falcon would be dead in the Siena, to be honest.
Yeah, that is true. 10. Nuh-uh, no bartering. 20 or no photograph for you. Fine.
What, are we
Falcon's
gonna
not
blow it
using
on
the cash.
anyway?
I was gonna say Falcon's not gonna fucking use it.
Oh my god, imagine with like the keys, he accidentally also just, actually no, he probably intentionally just handed over his wallet.
Yeah.
And Sparrowson maybe was momentarily like just, like, oh, money, wait.
Wait a second.
Wait a second.
Here's your photograph. It's a pleasure doing business with you, buddy. Blurry photo has been added to your evidence folder.
Imagine Sparrowson waking up and maybe he like formed a habit because, you know, he has to make sure Falcon gets up, probably make sure he at least eats 1 meal a day. Hence probably half the time when he went to go get him, like, you know, chocolate croissants. And I imagine him like going through that and then being like, oh wait, Falcon.
Falcon, oh no.
Oh no.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a crime scene to examine.
A lot of nothing.
Yes. That's indeed a big pile of rubble.
Me too, Sparrowson, me too.
Does Inspector Terry really expect me to trawl through all this wreckage for clues? I'll be here all day and night. If you're looking for golden valuables, forget it. Looters picked the place clean within hours of the explosion.
I wonder if, like, the giraffe was still employed.
Yeah.
She probably came back. She knew where all the good shit was.
Yeah. I'm not here for gold. I'm looking for clues. Sure you are. Well, either way, there's nothing left of value here. Can I make a suggestion? From one buddy to another, try the garden. The garden? The explosion disintegrated the whole front of the house, but the back was pretty much untouched. So if there are any clues left, I'd wager that would be the place to look.
He's probably gonna find something in, like, what if he finds something in that top area of the fountain that implicates Falcon?
And Falcon wants to get caught. That would be fucked up.
But also the placement, because that's where they found the, like, planted evidence.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, thanks, Rabina. That's a big help. I like hearing you going, fuck. Just like, man, why is there so many layers?
My emotions!
Oh, I was hoping for a tip or something.
Yeah, well, the sparrows gotta eat.
Wow, Rabina. It's almost identical to when I was last here.
With Falcon,
Well.
who is no longer here.
I guess it's time to go clue hunting.
You can't do a tricked coin flip. I want dessert!
The fountain is still running. I wonder who pays for the maintenance cost. I can't quite see the top from the basin here, but I can imagine that there'd be another mystery cigar. Take a look anyway. Why not? Couldn't hurt to look, I suppose. But I refuse to get my feet wet.
Then how are you gonna look?
There's something dangling out from the top.
Of course.
If I stand on my tiptoes, I can just about reach without falling in. I did it. It's a scrap of paper. It looks like it's been torn off of something.
Sparrowson. And then probably French.
I think that's the address.
Oh, maybe.
I see some writing. It's a little smudged from the water, but I can still read it. Let's see. Sparrowson, believe in yourself.
It's Falcon.
Oh my god, he knew
No!
he'd be there!
He knew he would look. He knew. And he's
knew.
probably hoping that Sparrowson is the one to catch him. You were right.
Yeah.
Fuck me, God.
No! Why?
Falcon!
Why did they choose this?
Falcon still believes in some form of justice. He just does not believe in this system, so he probably believes that someone is going to have to be the one to take it down. Someone is going to have to be the one to do the things that no one else wants to do. So he has decided that he will be the one to pretty much, you know, unleash the violence. He will kill those that, you know, have escaped justice. He will incite this revolution, and then he will be the bad guy at the front of it. He will be the one to take all that blame, and who can he trust better than his best friend to take him down?
Man.
Because he believes, you know, he's pretty much committing himself to being what he probably sees as just as bad. You know, he is a monster, probably even worse, because he is deciding that, you know, I wanted to be a good person. I, quote unquote, was a good person, but I'm deciding to do this and make this choice for so many people to, you know, just do something for the better good, or the whatever that phrase is.
Man.
Falcon,
I'm sad, Swan.
I am too.
Why do I have to be right?
Falcon, God, you don't have to do this. Fuck!
Does that mean he's going to... Oh. Does that mean he's going to go to every, like, place that they've ever been? And, like, do justice there?
Well, so far we've only
Well-
gotten one murderer off the hook.
But we did get one. Yeah, I mean, it's like one. But, I mean, like, just in general, if
But
he had
could
more
also
time...
be deciding to incite the rebellion, which would mean he would need to cause more chaos.
Yeah.
Which is why he's borrowing also the Mask of the Viridian Killer. Because how better to incite a rebellion than have the Viridian Killer strike? How better
Yeah.
to rile up the bourgeoisie and the royal guards and the king?
Mm-hmm. Did Falcon write this? Did he leave a message here because he knew I would check the fountain? But that means... Did Falcon play a part in the explosion of 𝐒𝐄 𝐅𝐄𝐋𝐋𝐄? Oh man, so many questions.
Some you probably don't want answers to.
I should definitely stash this away. It might be a key piece of evidence in the trial. Fountain note has been added to your evidence folder. Man, I'm sad.
No!
Hey, Falcon, I have a joke. A horse walks into a bar and... Never mind.
Fuck. No. No. God.
I still don't like these little cherub people. They can't be trusted. This statue's a little quiet. Maybe he's just a little horse. This statue is innately beautiful. Wouldn't you say, Falcon?
Fuck, man.
That was the spot where Monsieur Gawain was killed.
Is that shading or is it still fucking stained, bro?
It is stained. It is in fact stained. That blood patch is no longer sticky, but the stain remains. Well, honestly, why would she get rid of that stain? Because that would be like a... If the guy got arrested and then killed, and then she bought the house, that would be something that she would like to keep as like a trophy.
Yeah, with her
feel.
fucking ass personality.
Yeah.
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm done here. Bye, garden. Bye, fountain. Bye, horses and creepy cherubs.
If he says the word let's make a move, I will die. I will start
Let's make a move.
That's I looked up Falcon, there's a wiki for Falcon.
Oh, nice.
I looked it up and in quotes, the only one that I saw is let's make a move.
Let's make a move. You're back. Find anything interesting?
I personally
That's
don't.
Nunya.
Yeah, I really don't think we should tell him.
He would definitely be like, Nunya. None your business. That's not your business, buddy. You need to get snappy, buddy. Well, I best be getting on my way. Good day. S. Do I receive a tip for generously letting you in on such a valuable lead? Here's a tip, sure, here's 5 francs. You cannot choose not to tip him.
Well, I feel like that one wouldn't really be a tip.
Sure, here's 5 francs.
I feel like
That's
that
about all I
one might be
want.
he kicks him in the ankles and runs.
Yeah. Oh, that is true. Oh man, that would have been funny. Yeah, payday has come early for Rubino.
Personally, it was probably best to not draw extra attention or have Rubino, if we pay him now, he may drop interest, because if he gets a little spiteful, he might be like, oh, but what if you
Yeah.
did? Just best
But,
to keep him out.
But also, considering the mental image of Sparrowson kicking him in the ankles and then running away is the funniest
You
thing
right?
I've ever thought of.
It's beautiful.
I guess today's a new day.
If I ever do write a fan fiction or continue, I probably would have to write them as people because I do not know how I would fucking handle.
No, same.
their-
100%.
their
I'm ready to
heights
make
or
character
they
designs.
can have wings and other shit, you know, that's more akin to the, they can be animal people, but otherwise I will struggle with.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I cannot write birds, just straight up birds with
If they were
hands.
straight up literal birds, maybe. Like, you
Maybe,
know,
it would've been
I've
a little
read
bit
warrior
funnier.
cats, okay? I could manage. But birds that are
Yeah.
taller than normal with hands, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. What if the here's a tip option was like a life hack or something? I don't know. That'd be cute. That'd be really cool.
That would.
I am standing. So, Sparrowson, how confident do you feel about this trial?
He took the place he normally takes for Falcon.
Man!
And then he walked back to answer. How are you feeling?
I'm a little nervous.
That's what Falcon said, didn't he?
Actually,
me-
Falcon the first time I think said ... but...
Did he? Oh, I don't know. It just, huh?
Uh,
Maybe I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
We could do that.
I'm a little nervous, to be perfectly honest.
That's other things he says, though. Like, this is exactly how he says it, I'm pretty sure. Because I
Yeah.
didn't always choose the ...
Ah, don't worry. A guilty verdict is all but guaranteed.
He is feeling Falcon's absence so goddamn much.
Yeah.
And he has no one there to comfort him.
I wonder if sparrows are really social birds.
I wonder.
I know. It's just scary because it's my first time presenting a case as a lawyer, not as an assistant.
Falcon believes in you. He knows you can do it. And that's why he's trusting you to do it.
Mhm.
I should get an assistant. Ah, the doors are opening.
Is she representing herself?
I guess. Who the fuck would want to defend her, bro? Alright, settle down, everyone. Settle down. Is the prosecution here?
Sparrowson present. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Excellent. Are all the jury present?
All present and accounted for, Your Honor.
And it is to my understanding that the defense is representing themselves today, correct?
That's your cue, madam.
You can see I'm here. Just skip this phantomine nonsense and convict me already. Now, we have a procedure to follow, madam. Let's do this right. Fine. Yes, I, 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, am here. Very good. Now, defendant, you are being accused of 3 crimes. I never knew they would be standing in the same room. They have somewhat similar voices. First, you are charged with the murder of Severin 𝐒𝐄 the well-respected and benevolent prosecutor who worked for this very court. A benevolent prosecutor? What a joke of a phrase. Silence, if you please. Second, you are charged with conspiring to incite a rebellion. And we shall have a rebellion. I said silence! Order! Order! Pardon me.
It's okay, my phone started going off. I'm glad you didn't hear that.
I did not. Your third charge is for the murder of Dame Cataline de Meow. So, why not?
Your Honor, I have no doubt that the defendant is guilty of her first and second charges. In fact, I myself bore witness to the murder of Severin 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. I could even deliver a testimony of the events.
This isn't like, you know, what is it called? When you're too close to the case because you're a witness, but you're also then involved in, like, the legal side.
Yeah.
You know? A little too close. Mayhaps.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's, like, illegal, technically, or if, like, not allowed, but who knows?
I don't know.
That won't be necessary, I confess. Silence from the defense, please! Continue, prosecutor.
As I was saying, those 2 charges aren't to be contended, and in my mind, they're clear as day. But I would like to address the 3rd charge in this trial session. The bombing of Charter's screen because I keep saying it wrong. The murder of Dame Cataline.
I plead guilty. Not just to the murder of Dame whoever, but to all 3 charges.
Bleed whatever you like, ugh, there goes my throat. Bleed whatever you like, madam. I don't believe that you played any part in that attack. You were in jail at the time of the incident. You couldn't have possibly had the means to even issue an order to that lackey. To help me uncover the truth, I called an investigative officer, Inspector Volteri, to the witness stand.
He's not gonna like that one. Inspector Volteri, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
What just are you playing at, Monsieur Sparrowson?
I was right, he did not like that.
Well, what am I playing at?
Prosecutor, you know, the job he gave me.
This was intended to be a straightforward trial. Why are you dragging this out with needless penalty?
Not me spilling water. Fuck!
Uh-oh.
I have my anxiety axolotl in my lap, and it went right on my friend, and now I'm distraught. It's okay, Roka. Here, let's put you somewhere safer, because I am incapable of life. There we go. I'm just wasting time.
I'm just wasting time. That's the funniest response.
Yeah.
I'm securing justice.
For Falcon and Kokoriko,
For
Sparrowson is
my
taking up the
friends.
mantle.
I'm securing justice.
Is that what you call this nonsense? Justice? Fine, but you're wasting everyone's time if you ask me.
This is the best timeline in my opinion, because I feel like this, you know, we just destroy him here and now. This is, you know, this isn't justice. Fine. You know what? Fuck it. I'll prove without a damn doubt that you're in fucking correct and just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, let's get this over with.
You know what? If I ever do write a fanfiction, he's losing his fucking police badge. He's losing it. It's gone. He's gonna be this arrogant asshole. He's gonna, you know, do all these things, and then Sparrowson's taking it the fuck away from him.
I fucking forgot he had a first name. Man, the fact that we just keep seeing Voltaire, I was just like, man, I didn't know.
Well, see, Justy is, you know, obviously,
Justy.
whoever named him, it was opposite day.
Yeah, Inspector Justy Volteri. Swear to speak without hatred and without fear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
He's gonna have a hard time with this bit.
Without hatred.
You know, he's gonna have a hard time with that one.
Excellent. On to the questioning. Cross-examination.
According to Google, sparrows like to socialize.
Oh, that's sweet. That's cute.
Sparrowson
Which one of
missing his buddy.
Which one of you, Ender Cookie here? You're gonna get a bunch of Dan Pogs for that.
Hold on. I may be sobbing, but have. Anyway, has my chat been showing up on the screen the whole time? I guess it has.
Yeah.
It's kind of pointless on this game though, because with the way it's set up, you cannot fucking read at all.
That is true, yeah. Excellent. On to the questioning. Now, Inspector, why did the... Okay. Why do you believe that Madame Biermont is behind the bombing of Chateau-Charnier?
Is it not obvious? Because she has a crystal clear motive.
Motive does not present means.
That Madame wants a rebellion. By killing a prominent bourgeoisie figure in a dramatic manner, she stirs up tension between the classes.
See, I feel like he has okay reasoning sometimes, like here. Like, that technically makes some level of sense. There are probably better ways
Yeah.
to do that, but it's not completely illogical. He just cannot look past his own fucking ass and realize,
Yeah.
oh, my, you know, suspicions don't fit this target, let me move on to another one. It was the same thing with Falcon and the Viridian Killer. He was like, this man, I did him. And he probably had some reasonable reason to suspect. But he just, you know, was like, oh, wait, this part kind of makes it weird. It's still him. No?
A motive? That's all you're going by?
Obviously not, I have evidence too.
Oh, watch him pull out forged evidence.
You have evidence that Madame Biermont was behind the bombing. Real evidence? You didn't tell me about this before the trial.
I didn't think it would be necessary to tell you. How was I to know that you would drag this
Can
out?
someone fire this man? Like, clearly he stands in the way of the court system.
He does.
Enough bickering, you two. Inspector, you're fucking stupid. Present your evidence.
Very well, Your Honor.
That was the top half of the note.
You will all burn for your sins. Sparrowson.
Wait. Fuck,
What
wrong
is-
thing, wrong thing.
Wait, what did he said? Sparrowson, believe in yourself.
Yeah. And then, like, if we look, there's like names. I wonder if like it could fit, if it could be pieced back, and like that's
Yeah.
his name or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is
Some
the-
of these letters kind of like. I mean, that's an A, obviously. That kind of could be like a W, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out.
That doesn't look like an. That looks more like an R, though, than an O. Well, I mean an N. Oh well.
It could be from something.
Oh wait, shit.
It's a crudely fastened to.
I was gonna say it could be from the wolf too,
Oh, true.
and they're just taking advantage of it. They're
Oh, you're
scavenging.
right. Wait, is the handwriting the same? It's different. Maybe.
Slightly different.
There's more.
That is
fucked
Comic
up.
Sans based font,
Yeah, like that's Comic Sans.
and
I
the
wonder
other
what
one
this one
is serif based font.
Great. They have different handwriting.
It was crudely fastened to a pillar around 50 meters from where the explosion occurred.
Yeah, because it would be at the front.
Mhm.
You will burn for your sins.
That's a message no doubt intended a declaration of violence, a warning of what's to come. As you could see, the poster was damaged in the explosion and ensuring fire. The signatures at the bottom are nearly unreadable. Despite this, it is evident that two names fit the space perfectly. Those names are Fontaine and Piero.
Huh.
So they just. Oh, because Fontaine Piero are.
No, but that one was clearly more of an A.
That's more of
There's
a-
like this fucking dash here. That's not an N. As I accidentally hit my microphone.
And Remus. I do think it's the wolves.
Hold on. Let me go find their names.
Romulus and Remus. So that might have been an S. How would it have been an S? Silvius.
Yeah, that's an S at the end. That looked more like it.
What the fuck is this dude's real name?
Oh,
I don't
wait.
think we actually know
No,
what his
Silvi-
real name is.
No, Silvius is Romulus, remember?
Yeah.
That's his disguise. We have it as a separate. I thought
okay.
that was the second. Ramus is still an S, though.
Yeah, okay.
So
Weird.
even if, you know, it's either Romulus and Ramus or Silvus and Ramus, I think.
Maybe. I have no clue.
I don't know, because we totally have to figure out that they're the Viridian killers somehow, maybe.
Maybe. We
Or
might
like
not be
maybe
able
that they
to
were
because
implicated in some way. You know, I think we still or maybe need to figure that out, but maybe
Here's the thing. I don't think Sparrowson will ever figure it out.
Well, I don't. I don't think. Considering
Because they don't
Falcon's taking
know.
on the persona of the Viridian killer here, I don't think that Sparrowson here is going to figure out, oh, they were the Viridian killer. But I do think that he's going to find, you know, out that they had a part to play and that they pretty much
maybe.
orchestrated some stuff. So they're still hopefully going down for that. I think.
Oh, the only reason why I think is because the wolves were so like it was Romulus's like fuck up that really started like unwrapping the conspiracy. But anyways,
Also, literally, this is such shaky fucking evidence. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you know, only these two names fit. Bitch, how many
And
people in
eyes.
Paris are there? Like, okay, yeah, those are two rebels, and the names might fit. But literally, you can't prove that that was what was written.
literally, yeah.
Shakiest ass logic I've ever seen.
I mean, didn't he give us the most shaky ass logic in the beginning?
Yeah, he was
our
literally,
first,
like-
he was our first case. Yeah.
no,
our
he
first
was
prob-
bad.
Fontaine and Piero bar dwellers. I mean, I knew they were rebels because I saw them in the catacombs with my own eyes, but do you really think they did this?
Of course, no other names fit the gap.
There's also so much more space.
And it's far too much of a coincidence to be anyone else.
Also, for fuck's sake, dude. There are so many more people in Paris. That's so, this should just be thrown out in general.
It's true. I can't think of any other names to cleanly fill in those gaps.
Sparrowson, please. Sparrowson, please. The inspector's evidence appears. No! This is not convincing! Hold on. The Voltaire's stupidness is affecting everyone in the room for a hot second. The inspector's evidence appears to be pretty convincing, prosecutor. Are you done with your direct examination? He hasn't even begun.
No, Your Honor. I'm fucking not, dude. What? There is no way that the poster was written by Fontaine and Piero, and I intend to prove it.
You're welcome to try, but make it snappy, Monsieur Sparrowson.
Mitch, I'm gonna make it snappy that your neck leaves your body.
Well, here's the thing. Sparrowson might be able to get these guys free because of the implication that Voltaire just did.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was found, but yeah. Select a statement. This poster was found at the crime scene. It was no doubt an intended declaration of violence.
I want to question the signatures because I feel like that's stupid that only, you know, what is your suspect pool even? Like, why are you
Yeah.
only pulling from a certain amount of names? There are so many people in the city, but I don't know if that's going to be the logic this follows. Declaration
It's
of violence doesn't seem correct, honestly, because I don't think that'll lead anywhere. Now, location of where it was found maybe could play a role, but...
Maybe you just ask about the poster first, because we do have that piece of paper, but I don't know if that would even, like, because
As long as we don't ask stupid questions, this game hasn't punished us, even if it hasn't led us to something.
Yeah.
As long as we're not stupid, which is nice.
Let's take a closer look at this poster. He's gonna be like, well, got nothing. That torn corner. That torn corner in the upper right.
What about it?
Doesn't it look a little odd? I mean, if it had been removed deliberately.
This feels a little dumb.
It seems more than a little speculative.
Oh, a little speculative. I wonder what your whole fucking thing is based off of.
Not at all, Inspector. As it happens, I know for a fact that that poster was torn. I have proof. No, it was the... It is!
Oh, because this corner.
This is the corner.
But then they're gonna question why it says that. Oh.
Inspector Voltaire, I found this note in the garden fountain at Ch*Cher.
Listen, just don't fucking mention Falcon, okay? Keep your boy safe for now.
And not to say, let's have a look. Sparrowson, believe in yourself. What is this sentimental rubbish? What sort of self-help pamphlet?
No, why would it have his name in it if it was a self-help pamphlet, bro?
Ignore the context of the note for a moment, Inspector. Focus on the shape of the paper.
The shape? Well, it appears to be a torn corner of paper, probably ripped from a larger sheet.
That means Falcon wrote the threat.
Wait, this tear.
It is! Oh, he wrote it in the little corner in the back.
It looks familiar.
You see it too. The torn edge of the note matches the torn corner of the poster. It really does. It actually completely does. What conclusions can we draw from this? I posit that the person who wrote the note is the same person who designed and wrote the poster.
And, you know, this is gonna be a second where he's smart for 5 seconds and ask, why the fuck was this written on a thing where, you know, there was words also addressed to you?
Yeah, why?
That's a reasonable claim, but I don't see anything to indicate who wrote the note. It's unsigned.
It doesn't need a signature, Inspector. I only know of one person who would leave a note in a place like this.
Do we have to?
Can we? Are we able to? We can.
The aviary attorney himself.
Oh.
What a
You
handsome
know-
fellow.
Here we go. Myself. Anyways, fuck.
Fuck, I
You have to.
I know it's right.
We
I know
have
it's the right
to.
thing to do. I know Falcon wants this. I know
We'll be
he
like,
does.
no, it's the fucking dead frog, please.
But this is like my heart really wants this to be something that Sparrowson and Falcon chat about first, without this shit, without bringing this up in a court, without. But God damn it, Falcon!
Falcon. I don't want to throw anyone under the horse carriage, especially this person.
I think this just shows, though, how good of a person I guess Sparrowson is, in the true sense that he will hold you responsible. You know, I was originally reminded of Swanson from the whole, like, Sparrowson thing, but I'm seeing, like, 1 or 2 parts of Swanson in him right now, and I'm just like, God.
Man,
he is, you know, this is, like, his best fucking buddy. He has been missing him horribly, and he knows that, honestly, it's so likely that, like, the noose or the guillotine could await Falcon if this, like, he is caught, if this goes bad. But he is still wanting to, like, hold people accountable.
yeah. But, well, in my opinion, the only person who fits is...
Mundu!
you.
What was that?
An explosion. It sounded like it came from right outside.
No doubt about it. Bermont, did you arrange this?
What? Me? No, I have no idea what's going on.
I hate to be this is literally what he fucking said when when we were inside and doing the 𝐒𝐄 and we were doing the thing against the king.
Oh. The parallels.
Matter of speaking, but well, in a matter of speaking, how do I put this?
For pity's sake, spit it out, monsieur.
Fire! There's a big fire!
Well, the note was accurate. Here, in the Palace de Justice.
Not just the Palace Justice, the whole island is ablaze. It's crazy. We gotta get out of here now.
We're on an island? Okay, I don't know geography, so don't flame me for that, but, like, is Paris an island?
I don't know.
Who
and
knows?
This
The
shows
island's
my
ablaze.
geography knowledge.
Okay, you heard the rabbit. Everybody clear out! Court is adjourned.
I'm not through with you, Bermont. Spit it out. Are you behind this fire?
I will say, I kind of like that the game didn't let Sparrowson go through that. Like, he was going to, and you know he was going to, so you still get that part of him, but he doesn't actually have to say it because of other circumstances.
Yeah.
I told you, I have no idea what's going on. Now, can you please undo my shackles so I can avoid burning to death? You know, if I'm going to die, I'd at least like, you know, a quick death, you fucks.
We need to go, Inspector.
Don't lie to me, Linus. Is this your plan? Is one of your lackeys trying to break you out? Is this the start of a rebellion proper?
You're acting ridiculous. I'm telling you that explosion had nothing to do with me.
You're telling the truth, aren't you? You honestly played no part in the 𝐒𝐄 incident. You honestly know nothing about this fire.
Seriously, we have to go, Inspector.
Right, let's go.
Wait, Sparrowson! Undo my shackles, please. You aren't seriously going to let me die here, are you? Can we?
We are prosecutor.
What, do you want her to burn to death?
No, I don't want her to burn to death.
Like, you
I
know.
because of the fact that it makes sense why, but that is a crime, but because this is happening and it's so random, it wouldn't be considered like a justice death, like a just death. So yeah, undo the shackles.
Of course not. Sit tight. I think that they keep a spare set of jail keys around the judge's podium somewhere.
You know, he was like, you aren't responsible for that last crime. You're gonna burn to death anyway. Like, bro, how cruel is that? Especially because he has been through battle. He must know, to some degree, how much some of that shit hurts. And he's just like, oh yeah, whatever. He has no
Yeah.
sympathy for anyone.
No, he doesn't.
He is a bitch. Like, honestly, you know, What I'd do to hurt him the most, like, just story-wise, is I'd make there be one character that he cares about. One character that, like, you know, just whatever. And he hasn't seen them in ages because, you know, they were disgusted by him. And they show up and he's like, oh, yeah, you know, you. And they're like, I fucking hate you. You are worth, you know, and he's just like, oh.
Oh no.
Because sometimes it's only like, with those sorts of people, there's only like one type of person, and they're so rare, because those type of people don't listen to anyone easily. But it's only like one sort of person that can ever get through and do something, and it's just like, God. In my brain, sometimes those people just need that emotional hurt to maybe stop being an idiot and become a better person, because otherwise they're just gonna keep their head up their ass.
Wait, now that I'm thinking back to the message,
Uh-huh.
you said it looks like an R at the end. Viridian Killer.
Voltaire. Oh, wait,
No,
Viridian Killer.
Viridian Killer.
Oh, he was signing it as the Viridian. You genius. Viridian has an A in it, I think. God, Dan, you're good.
Meanwhile, I was
Linda,
like,
you gonna
let's look at
talk?
the fonts.
Oh, that took 20 years. Okay.
I swear it's somewhere around here.
This person, for what it's worth, I'm sorry for killing that prosecutor, 𝐒𝐄 I would be lying if I said that killing that bird didn't bring me relief. It did. It took a weight off my heart that had been there for years. But I'm starting to think that what I did was... well, it wasn't justice. I don't think that it was, at least.
Ah, I found the key.
He doesn't acknowledge your confession at all.
Take it, undo your chains, and you're free to go.
You're letting me walk.
Yup.
You know that I'm going to take this opportunity to flee the country, right?
Sounds good. Try Britain. Or maybe America. I hear America's...
Why are you doing this? I thought prosecutors were all about punishing the guilty.
I don't know so much about being a prosecutor, madam. I've only had this job for like 4 days, after all. But I do know that 𝐒𝐄 wouldn't call a person burning to death justice, even if that person were guilty. I was right in that thinking. My God. I'm just following his example.
You're following 𝐒𝐄's example. Was the 𝐒𝐄 I saw as a child different to the 𝐒𝐄 I killed?
I don't know. I hear people can change. But we don't really have time for that discussion, madam. Because, you know, fiery immediate death, and imminent death and stuff.
Right. You lead the way.
Actually, I'm meeting the inspector out front. So you may want to take the back exit. The inspector would see us both hanged if he knew what I just did.
I understand. Then we probably won't meet again, so I suppose this is goodbye.
Indeed. Good luck, Madam Bermont.
And to you, Saracen. You are a first-rate lawyer.
I'm... first rate?
Sweetheart.
I love him so much.
Good. You made it out safely. Any problems?
I want to hold him in my hands and just keep him safe.
Hold him like
Hold
hamburger.
Hold him like hamburger.
Nope.
The Saracen ate a snitch.
No problems at all.
Excellent. It looks like the rabbit was right. Buildings are on fire from riverside to riverside.
How fucking impressive is it that Falcon literally set, like, all of Paris ablaze? He
Yeah.
had, like, what, 2 to 3 days?
You just... everything's going down, and it's coming with him.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get off the island right away.
Paris, you know, may be fucked if 𝐒𝐄 dies, but part of that is because Falcon is fucked if 𝐒𝐄 dies. Because Falcon is a bomb.
Hold on, Inspector. There's something important I need to tell you.
Save it. Our safety takes priority. The fastest way out of here is via Rue de l'Arco by Notre Dame. Santado, Monsieur Spirison.
On the streets of the Isle de la City, panicked people of all ages and classes scurry away from the engulfing fire. Smoke billows out of the burning buildings, enveloping the sky in a dark cloud.
Ugh, This place is utter chaos.
Inspector, slow down. I really need to tell you this.
Hold on. There's a fucking bot in my chat. How do I kill you? Not literally. Just, I don't know how to.
No, I think you should just take him out back.
How do you, like, I really wish I could just right-click this guy's name and get him out. Like, this
Use
is,
a rifle.
Like, there's no way I can do that easily. You know, this is literally a bot. He's only ever sent, like, one message or whatever.
In between the eyebrows.
How do I fucking... Slash ban newfound novella. There we go.
I'll just reread that.
Inspector, slow down. I really need you to I really need to tell you this.
It can wait.
It really can't. Listen, back in the catacombs, Falcon told me something. Falcon? I thought he was just saying stupid things because he was angry and stressed. But then, with Chateau Chenair incident and now this, well, I think he might have been telling the truth, and...
Cut the preamble and spit it out.
Falcon told me that he was the Viridian killer. Inspector? Are you okay?
I knew it. Run along, Sparrison. Get off the island safely.
You aren't coming too?
No. I think we're going to arrest the Viridian killer. I've hunted him for 18 years, and now I finally have my opportunity.
You're going to arrest Falcon? But you don't know where he is.
I don't know. I do know where he is. That arrogant Philistine witch is watching us right now.
He is? I don't see him.
Like I said, this is my arrest to make, Sparrison. Run along.
To hear this, be like, you know, your best friend, like, run along. You have no part in this. Oh, God.
Inspector. What did I do now?
He was watching.
Oh my god, dude.
Such a beautiful view. A perfect place to watch the city burn. Inspector, it's about time. Come on, step out of the shadows.
You. I knew it. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. I knew it! You were the one responsible for the bombings of the July Revolution. You are the one responsible for the bombings of today. You. You are the Viridian killer.
I am.
Such a brazen confession.
You knew before Sparrowson told you, didn't you? How long have you known?
I've always had my suspicions. A falcon acting as a defense lawyer? Laughable. It is in your nature to be a bird of prey. It wasn't until 𝐒𝐄 I carried out the investigation that my suspicions turned to evidence-based reasoning. You changed your name between 1829 and 1832. Why? Because you wanted to distance yourself from your old identity, that of the Viridian killer. I knew that you had a murderous spirit in you. I knew that under the right pressure, I could draw that spirit out. So I created a perfect scenario. You're a fool, Inspector. But I can't fault your intuition.
That's me.
Oh, so that's you. Oh my god. So sorry.
It's all good. You are a fool, Inspector, but I can't fault your intuition. I suppose you wish to arrest me.
Of course, I will arrest you. I will have you tried, and I will have you executed in the name of justice.
Justice. You talk as if I'm the only one who stands here as a sinner. You, Inspector, are just as guilty as I am.
Ha! I'm an upstanding citizen.
You were the one responsible for severing 𝐒𝐄𝐈𝐀𝐄's death. You were the one who ordered for him to undertake a mission that he had no chance of completing. You knew from the moment that you set him to confront the rebels that he would be killed like a street dog. And for what? To anger me? To make me lash out? Well, congratulations! You succeeded. Here I stand as the Viridian Killer. 𝐒𝐄 is dead and Paris is ablaze. Dozens have died so that you could fulfill your lust for punishing criminals.
I have broken no law. I have done no wrong.
You think the law defines right and wrong? That is a disgusting level of naivete. Regardless of what's written in the law books, we are both sinners of the worst kind, Inspector. We both deserve justice. So let us be judged by the way of the ancient regime. Let us settle this through the oldest form of trial known to man.
The oldest form of trial. You wish to duel?
Indeed. I am sorry that you brought a pistol. I brought one of my own.
This is a farce. I'm not going to duel you.
I'm not going to give you a choice. On the count of 5, I'm going to turn and shoot. You can participate, or you can be killed.
You really are the monster I expected you to be. Viridian Killer. Count.
1,
Wait.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Turn and shoot.
That's the final count,
Oh.
Inspector. Why haven't you turned to shoot me? I see. I misjudged you. I thought you hated criminals through and through. But here you are showing mercy to your worst enemy. You are a lawful man. A virtuous man. But you still await judgment for the death of Sovereign 𝐒𝐄. If you thought that you could just escape punishment just because you are willing to show me mercy, well, you are very much mistaken.
You dishonorable canard. Shooting a man in the back.
I never claimed to be honorable.
Nor did I.
So this is how it ends for us. 2 old birds going up in flame. I can hear the people chanting. Liberty, equality, fraternity. The rebellion really has begun. No, this isn't right. I can't leave things like this. Inspector, I have a confession. I am not the Viridian Killer. Yes, I bombed 𝐒𝐿 𝐅𝐄𝐋𝐋𝐄. I did that to get revenge on an enemy of mine. And yes, I set this city island on fire to spite you. The real Viridian Killer, the one who maimed you in the July Revolution 18 years ago, that wasn't me. I have no idea who that person is. Did you hear me, Inspector? Oh, you're already gone. Maybe it's for the best that you didn't hear. Truth is overrated anyway. This is it. This is my time to go.
Not on my watch. Come on your feet.
Sparrowson? Fuck.
Let's celebrate the hospital becoming renowned for its progressive attitudes towards medical care.
How is he, Doctor?
Wasn't this you?
Oh no,
Or
this,
do you
this
need
was you.
Do you, oh, this was me. Okay.
Mhm.
I
Physically, Falcon's injuries are pretty minor. Some minor burns and a superficial gunshot wound. But mentally, I think he will need a little time.
I see.
Don't fret. The hospital has best mental health care in all of Europe. We'll do everything we can to put him right.
I don't think you can fix him, man. I'm sorry.
I think he's fucked.
I think he's fucked.
Thank you, Doctor. Can I speak to him?
Sure, that's no problem at all. Actually, you should take him for a walk by the river. Maybe that'll do him some good.
Falcon was so ready to just die,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's alive. Now he has to face Sparrowson.
Mm-hmm.
God. Hi, Sparrowson.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. It was just how plain. It's just how it was, how it came in front. I'm so sorry.
No,
This
it's
is
all
why I
good.
have,
It's all good.
this is why I have to mute sometimes when like like when we're acting
Mhm.
because my brain goes, I need to laugh right now.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I get it.
Okay,
Hi,
sorry.
Sparrowson.
Hi, Falcon. Feeling okay?
Yeah. Don't worry, I haven't gone loopy.
That's a relief. Come on. Let's take a walk.
So it looks like the rebel uprising was successful. The Prime Minister fled. The King was booted out of the country. France has a new and scary future ahead of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I hear Judge Maxime granted you a full legal license.
Yeah, I'm a real attorney now.
Congratulations on order. You must be proud.
I am.
Have you decided what kind of law you're going to specialize in?
I'm going into contract law. Just fucking third random ass. I feel like prosecutor would be the best though.
I do think Sparrowson's a prosecutor. Yeah. Because honestly, even if Falcon is his best friend, he was not the role model.
Yeah.
He's really following in 𝐒𝐄 footsteps, and I think that's also a really nice choice because Sparrowson is very different from Falcon. They walk
Mhm.
different paths, but God.
I'm gonna be a public prosecutor, like 𝐒𝐄
The prosecutor, huh? I guess Severin was a better role model for a lawyer than I was, wasn't he?
I think we made enough small talk, Falcon. There's something serious we need to discuss. The bombings. Only Inspector 𝐒𝐿TERI and I knew that you were behind the attacks on 𝐒𝐿TERI and the courthouse. Only he and I knew that you were the Viridian killer. So with him gone, it's just me.
I see. Do you plan on turning me in? This is your choice, Dan. I will let you make it.
What would Sparrowson do?
I'm really thinking.
That's hard because I feel like at this point, I know he said that, only we knew that you were the Viridian killer, but I kind of honestly think that he overheard that last little bit of that interaction. I feel like he heard Falcon's confession that he wasn't really. And I kind of honestly think this would be a hard choice for him, despite, how he's kind of stuck with stuff, because it's kind of how it was before with their relationship. I feel like Sparrowson's always known that Falcon has been struggling and broken in more ways than he could see. And this was unfortunately the result of that brokenness. And I feel like each time he has so wanted to help him, and he has seen that he can. So I feel like he would be tempted in some ways to not, because I think he'd feel like he could, but at the same time, I think he knows that, then there's that other side of him pulling. that's, you know, Falcon has done something that can't really be ignored.
The only thing that I can think of that Sparrowson would convict him of is the bombings.
Mm-hmm.
That is it. The death of Volteri, justified. The death of Madame Dumas, justified. Because obviously she did kill someone.
She also got a second man killed, technically.
Yeah.
The Baron.
And in this case, Falcon fell into executioner.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, he was successful with the rebels. In the sense of he did what he set out to do.
Imagine if I just choose no and he shoots me.
You know, in some ways, personally, I kind of feel like it would be the lesson to not. To make Falcon, like, force him to come back, almost. In the sense of, he has to see what he has done. He has to...
Yeah.
Before, he would have never considered this as an option, essentially. Before, he was like, you know, this is criminal, this is bad, but he broke. So, getting him back to that point where he recognizes that, he's gonna live with that guilt. If we turn him over, he will die. Because they will execute him. Based on their laws, essentially. I mean, I wouldn't...
No.
I don't think Sparrowson would just let Falcon roam, to be honest, but I think it would honestly be more of a...
I think he would prosecute him in the right way.
Yeah, I feel
But
like
based on
Sparrowson
the
would kind of take his Falcon's, I guess, sentence into his own hands, I think. Kind of.
Similar to how he didn't let her burn. It's not just.
It's kind of like, this justice system can't see the justice that you need done to you,
Yeah.
so I will do it.
It'd have to
Shit,
be
wait,
now.
that's even more like Swanson. Hold on! God! Fuck. Okay, Sparrowson. You are hamburger. We agree on no?
Hold him like hamburger.
We agree on no?
Yeah, we do.
I wonder if the game's gonna say, psych, you don't get to choose!
Your player, playback is loading, and I don't know if it's me or you.
Oh,
Or stream playback. Bang.
shit.
Unless Twitch just decides to...
As in, like, the stream, or your, like, the thing that I'm screen sharing to you?
The stream.
Oh. Well, I'm not getting any more warnings, and the stream, pardon me, timer's still going. It would have reset if it disconnected.
Okay, it just might be me then. I just wanted to make sure it
might.
wasn't your player.
I hope it ain't.
If not, then recording will be
Mhm.
there. No.
Why not?
It's difficult to say. I'm still trying to handle on this justice malarkey. Right now, I don't think what's right or wrong. Don't know what's right or wrong. Are you a murderer? Should you be in prison? I don't know. This thing is a mess. I find myself asking, what would 𝐒𝐄 do?
Probably give a stupid Voltaire quip.
I guess so.
Listen, Sparrowson. I want to thank you for not turning me in, but I think I'm going to stay at the hospital for a little while. Well, maybe a long while. You can call it a penance if you want.
I understand. You know, you could just go, make a run for it. I won't be able to catch you, but you could even make it all the way down the chalice.
Yeah, I probably could, but I won't.
You don't want to be free?
Of course, I want to fly away more than anything. But some birds need to be kept caged.
Ba-ba-da-ba,
Damn.
ba-da-ba. That was good. Good. Very good.
I can say that I'm fully satisfied with the story.
I am too. I definitely am.
I'm so glad that I actually took a second to look at the other two endings, because I feel really bad actually for saying that, like, you know, this kind of feels like all the build-up doesn't really lead to anything. That's because it doesn't. It can't.
Yeah,
Not
I
really.
can't.
Not maybe. Maybe there would be a way to play it up, have some kind of more satisfactory way of doing it, but that's not the. It's not the true ending they kind of wanted. It's either the bad ending or the really bad ending.
Yeah.
Because that works off of all the build-up that brings everything, you know, to fruition. Although I do like to imagine that it kind of was. I like to imagine that Falcon was a bit more effective during that Improv 2 trial, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it still just wasn't enough, and he was flustered, so he did fuck up every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just. Yeah. But that's just my own interpretation. It's just. God, that was really good. And honestly, I think Sparrowson turning him in would have been an okay ending too, but I kind of really like, I guess, him not too, just for, I mean,
Yeah.
what we discussed. Ow. I really think that is the way that Falcon can truly face that justice, because if he just dies, that's what he planned in the first place. He intended to go down to, he expected it.
Yeah.
Now he's pretty, Sparrowson is like, you're going to live. And I'm going to be here to watch you live. And you're gonna one day really need to acknowledge what you've done. And, you know, you can't really pull a 𝐒𝐄 𝐅𝐄𝐋 with the sense of, you know, because 𝐒𝐄 𝐅𝐄𝐋 at the very least, you know, followed the legal system, whatever. Yeah, sure, it was cruel, and honestly, really shit would happen, but at the very least, when he sentenced that man, like, you know, helped, he did not really be like, oh yeah, you're gonna die, you know? He was supposed to be released after 5 years.
Yeah.
So, Falcon has admittedly, well, maybe he is the Crimson Killer.
Crimson Killer instead of Viridian Killer now.
I mean, he did say that would be cooler, and he did set bombs that caused a lot of fires.
Yeah.
That was really good. I do want to have us just discuss a few things about the game, because I think we have brainwaves, but hold on, I need to BRB real quick.
Hello, chat. Sorry, I'm Eepy. I be doing a little eep. I be doing a little sleepy. Also, my Twitch player, like, all of Twitch decided to stop working for me, and I don't know why. Because I went to check at other channels. Oh, now it works. I just had to bitch and moan. I think the endings are satisfying given the decisions you have had to make along the way. Yeah, I definitely think that. I think oftentimes the perfect ending isn't the most, like, the perfect ending. Obviously, having to fight for it, I think, is definitely something that makes endings a little bit more satisfying. But I think, like, even like the perfect ending, the good ending, was satisfying in its own right because it gave you the satisfaction of everyone got what they wanted in the end. The king got to live. Renaud got money. They got the egg back. All that good stuff. And then, of course, Falcon and Sparrowson became the best attorney team. Literally, they were swimming with, like, shit, I kicked my fucking...
I'm back.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Oh god, there are so many things to... Here, let me go to my ending screen, because we will be ending after our discussion.
I need to stretch my back.
And honestly, God, I've been left kind of speechless, because it's just... That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it had a small cast, but it worked with them well. I only have, like, a few complaints. Honestly, I think, my only real complaints were about Voltaire a little.
Voltaire, but I think he was purposely supposed to be, like, the
Yeah,
asshole.
but there was a thing or two where, like, there's only, like, 1 or 2 incidences. Like, you know, with that last one where he was like, oh, yeah, only these names fit. And the judge was like, yeah, that's pretty solid evidence. No.
Yeah,
That part was a little...
It was just dumb.
But it was only one little part, so I can kind of let it slide. Just a little.
And, I mean, it establishes his character that we already know, that he is incompetent. So...
Yeah.
which he did in the first trial.
I don't know. Like, I like that. It's just the fact that he has such a position of fucking power that irks me to no means end.
Yeah.
I guess. I'll just keep my little headcanon that he once was effective, but part of this is, like, growing paranoia and other shit. Because
And I mean,
of his time after everything.
In the first trial, I mean, he did do the exact same thing, and technically he was right.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, actually, honestly, yeah, he was. Shit.
Caroline was, in fact, the killer.
But was that his base, No?
It feels
I
like
think there's
one of
actually some beauty in that. I've forgotten about that, actually.
Yeah, I think it's the case of, like, maybe sometimes a character who makes wild claims won't always hit the mark, but sometimes he will.
It's kind of like the boy who cried wolf, I guess, as well, because, we then got so used to him making these bullshit claims.
That we became the Viridian killer.
Yeah. That
And, became an actual killer, yeah.
That sequence with Falcon and Voltaire just on that roof as the city burned was so thematically good. And the way that each time Sparrowson had to ask in those two endings, what do I do now, when he found his way, I love that about him. He made a choice and he went with it. It wasn't like, another assistant who might be like, oh, I don't know what to do. And need then later guidance, I guess. He needs someone to point them in the direction. He didn't. Because his job does not define him with his capabilities. Yes, sure, he was Falcon's assistant, but he is fully capable in his own right.
Yeah.
God, I love their dynamic. I love the cast. And,
yeah, I think this is really well done.
Sketchy logic. I might look up and see if they've done anything else.
Let me know, because damn.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Because, wow, okay.
Wow, God.
So, Bird Game became Existential Dread game.
Yeah, no, this is literally going to be living in my head rent-free. Like, every now and then I'm going to have, like, just a time, and I'm going to start thinking. Like, I occasionally, when you're, like, laying somewhere, or, like, you're just sitting and you have nothing to do, but you kind of just imagine scenarios in your head.
Yeah, that's how I mostly write.
Yeah, I sometimes mostly, like, I don't know, I'll have, like, a game I've recently really enjoyed, or, like, a story or something that I've recently read that's, like, I've just really into, and I'll kind of, like, play some of those game scenarios in my head, but, like, alter them ever so slightly, or insert myself, I suppose. And I just toy with that in my brain. Like, this is gonna be, when I'm gonna go to bed tonight, my brain's gonna be like, ah, yes, but what if?
Yeah, no, 100%. Though, it just, on topic but off topic, that reminds me of the story Rex told me where apparently a guy watched Shrek so often that he memorized the entire Shrek movie in his head. And, he would space out, and it got to the point where his family started going, stop watching Shrek. So that was a thing.
Oh no, if I Aviary Attorney too much, I might be lost to the birds forever.
You're playing Aviary Attorney right now, aren't you, Swan?
In your brain. Yeah.
Imagine, like, spacing out, and that is wild to me, though. But I don't know, that was, like, on topic, off topic,
My brain can't remember shit well enough for that, I'm not gonna lie.
The fact that I'm offering to play, well, I'm like, hey, Swan, we need to play this dating sim. I don't even remember the name. That's how bad it is.
You gotta find the name of the dating sim so we can play it.
I know, like, the logo and stuff. It's like, I had to get rid of it because, it was Blooming Panic. That's what it's called. It's Blooming Panic.
Interesting title for a dating game. Or sim, or whatever.
Yeah, it's actually really good. And it's a really interesting concept because it's basically you're on Discord and you meet 4 guys, and obviously you get to choose which one you want to pursue. So it's like 4 different. Routes. Well, no, it's 4 different routes, and then there's a good and a bad ending. So I guess it's like 8 different endings.
I see. Yeah, that's pretty typical. I mean, bad relationship, good relationship.
Yeah. Or did you get him to, like you in any way?
Are you a likable, interesting person? Are you dateable, mayhaps?
God, that game was also really good.
Honestly, I wish this game, like, I have never heard anyone speak of this game. I really wish I did. I think this is, like, just as good, if not better, than the Ace Attorney franchise, because I could cite off the top of my head way more issues I have probably with the Ace Attorney games, like, from what the 3 I've played, than this I have for this entire fucking game.
Literally me going, are you fucking kidding me? Within the first, like, 20 minutes of the game, because the guy, like, everything he did, it's like, this is hand-holding, like, really bad hand-holding.
Exactly.
And I'm like, bro, what? And then, of course, like, the characters' reactions just didn't make sense to certain things. That's what kind of pissed me off a little bit more.
There are parts of it I like, but I think I headcanon a lot more and, like, in my head rewrite a lot more than I ever will with this game. The only part I've in my brain rewritten, quote unquote, is a little bit about Voltaire. Or Voltaire or whatever. Everyone else, honestly, is just so solid in their own ways. I love Beaumort. I honestly adore her as a character. She's very interesting.
She's a good character.
I adore, you know, honestly, the wolves played their part. I kind of wish we learned a little bit more about their motivation. I mean, it might have just been as simple as they wanted to take advantage of the power gap. They wanted that to continue to grow. But why they wanted that would be
I'm pretty sure their motivation was just pure violence because they believed there is no God. Or there's no reason for more,
honestly,
like, moral.
It very well could have been. I mean, there was that one point, the talk about, you know, carnivores, like, ruling, that whole thing.
Yeah.
They could genuinely believe that in the sense of, like, you know, society has established, you know, there's no longer, what is it? When you're weak and you don't survive because you're not strong. Survival of the fittest. There we go. I forget words.
That's straight up there. That is there. I mean, they told the duck, it's them or you.
Yeah, they literally invoked it. They, like, because, you know, even with the rebellion, you know, that fighting would end. They want so much chaos, so much warring that this continues, so that the society collapses, and so that it's back to that. Survival of the fittest. Carnivores, you know, hunting their prey.
Yeah.
Omnivores being some weird
even that,
between.
like, their motivation could have been also fear because of that.
True.
Because if not having power is scary.
There's so much potential for, like, little brainwaves with this game of, like, potential continuations or alternate scenarios, and it's really, really cool. I was really sad to learn there was not a sequel to this game. I was really sad.
Yeah.
But I think we've streamed enough for today, Dan, and I think we pushed our voices as far as they need to go.
My throat is gone.
My throat is complaining to me. I typically speak a lot. So maybe my voice is just a little, I don't know. Me being a chatterbox as a kid worked out.
Yeah, maybe. I used to be a chatterbox, but then I just didn't anymore.
Yeah. I didn't have friends, but I also wouldn't shut up despite that, so the world was like, yeah, don't speak, and I was like, okay, and? Anyhow, chat, I hope you have a good rest of your mornings, afternoons, days, nights, whatever time of day it is for y'all. This is Swan Sorceress and Dan, signing off. Bye!